Okay, guys, we are live. So for those listening at home, welcome to the Dungeon Musings YouTube channel. My name is Kevin Madison, and I will be your friendly dungeon master this evening, this afternoon, this morning, wherever this finds you. Today, we are continuing on with our ongoing campaign, playing Paizo Publishing's very cool Starfinder science fantasy role-playing game. And regular viewers of the channel may note that we have a slight change in our lineup. We're doing a bit of Russian doll gaming here today, where we were, when we last left our session, in a flashback, but we're going to another flashback now, because we have two of our regular players who are down. We're unavailable to play today, but we fortunately had two volunteers to join us for a very special one-shot. So we're down two players, but we're up two special guest stars. But first off, let's do some introductions here, and then we will jump into the game. First up, returning the regular stars of the Against the Aeon Throne adventure path. First up is Mo.
Hi, I'm Morris from the UK. I'm playing JT Cat, or Cat, who is an operative. And for those of you not familiar with Starfinder as opposed to Pathfinder or D&D, that's a bit like a rogue. And a bit like a street samurai in Cyberpunk, if you've ever played that game. He's a drow, and he grew up as a refugee on Absalom Station.
I love how optimistic you are about comparing it to a street samurai, given your performance with grenades to date. So...
I think he's saving up for the...
next up is Vuldan, or Ingolf.
Yeah. So my name is Ingolf, and I'm playing Vuldan, who's a Vesk soldier, and he's a little bit overconfident, and he's, trying to run a ship.
Nice.
Let's see.
And then joining us for the first time, like some guest stars on the channel. First up is Pete.
Hi there. I'm Pete from Garblag Games. Kevin was very kind enough to invite us on for this special session, so thank you, Kevin.
I'll say as well too. So Pete is also the host of a YouTube channel called Garblag Games, and I'll put a link in the description of the video after the session as well too. But Pete very kindly ran a session for me where I got a chance to try out the Zweihander role-playing game too.
You're a very good nun.
Secretly my closet hope, I guess. So. And last but not least, Pete, first off, who are you playing today?
I am First Officer Zedek.
Nice. And last but not least, joining us for the first time is Ben.
Hello. I too have come here from Garblag Games, where I'm one of Pete's little minions. I shall be playing Ansi Eclipse today, an Isoki cyberborn mystic from Akiton. So we were describing him a little bit earlier as kind of like a horrible mashup between Rocket Raccoon and River from Firefly.
Yeah, in Rivertown. That's great. Okay, so guys, let's we're gonna jump right in first with a bit of a cold open. So what we see is in the film version of our campaign is we see this sprawling warehouse. So I guess first thing we see, hanging in the blackness of space, in the space where we would we would know as a planet once was, is of course Absalom Station. An Absalom Station regular, or those familiar with Starfinder would know that this is all that remains of what once was Absalom. The fate of that planet has long since been lost to history and to memory, thanks to the influence of the Gap. But now, so we see in like white lettering, Absalom Station, and it cuts into this sort of like, if you can picture kind of a mashup, imagine a like high-tech version of a warehouse. So kind of like a little bit more of a even more automated Amazon warehouse. There's rows and rows and rows of these shelving units with a bunch of different things that are on there too. But unlike the Amazon warehouses or whatnot, this place is completely still. There's no one that is active in here. And the only two people we see moving are a insectoid-looking humanoid woman, who's a Shirin, looking like this. Oop, come on, you. And she has a little, very much like what the illustration has. This thing is walking along with a little notepad, kind of, dotting off things. And she's dressed very much like you see in the illustration, where it's the long, kind of officious coat on. She seems to be, the more white collar. In contrast to that, we see walking next to her this lumbering humanoid form that, or being, that has kind of like a whitish, purplish kind of skin, wearing heavy overalls with a bunch of like spanners and tools and stuff hanging from the belt. And this is not a great illustration of it, but this is a more militaristic version of what we see. This is an orc. And what the orc says to the Shirin is that, well, did you check everything out? We're good to go now, right? We can go back active? And the Shirin is checking the pad and says, shh, just 2 more things must be checked. And she kind of shakes the pad, and as we look in a little closer, we can see the holographic display that comes up from this pad. It kind of like flickers and cuts out for a moment and then cuts back in, and she shakes the pad and she says, have you talked about your infosphere connection? And he says, yes, it's something we're investigating. But that shouldn't stop us from opening up again. We can open up again now. You've checked. We're safe. And she kind of taps on the pad again, triple checks her math on this, and then says, very well, you'll be fine to open again. But I will be back in 1 cycle to check on the infosphere connection again. He says, fine, as long as I can get my people back to work, that's all right. And she nods her head and says, very well, we'll send the final form of the report to you over infosphere if your connection works. And then you will be able to return. He says, when will we get that? He says, 6 hours. It needs to be double-checked by the next level in bureaucracy. And he kind of nods and is like, fine, fine. She leaves, leaving him kind of looking around. And you can see there's a bunch of unmanned, space forklifts and the like, it's clear that there's a lot of people who would normally be working here. So this guy kind of stomps back into what's the equivalent of the foreman's office, and it's that kind of, if you can picture any like workman's or foreman's shack in any construction site where it's full of, schedules on the side and there's a bunch of like order sheets, but every single one of these would be like some kind of electronic pad of some format. So there's stacks of these filthy things that are around. He sits down, puts his feet up on the desk, and he where his office is it looks out over the whole warehouse area. And he pulls out this great big rolled cigar, and it looks like it's been lit and stubbed out a couple of times before he gets ready to light this thing up. And then we hear from outside of the office in the darkened warehouse, something falls. It's that, sound of a metal tool clattering to the ground. So he gets up, and let me quickly switch our music here. There we are.
Ooh.
So, he gets up, and he walks out of the office. He looks left, he looks right, and there's nothing moving in here. There's no sound of any, machinery operating. There's not the sound of anything else falling. There's just the sound of his heavy work boots, doom, 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 going down the metal stairs that lead down to the concrete floor, or the ferrocrete floor, or whatever you want to call it. And he looks up and down and he's like, is that you? Shrek? And we hear from somewhere off in the dark, in one of the, darkened alleys, this and he looks around. Who is that? Did you forget something? Hey! And you hear again something falls off in the darkness. Who is it? You guys, we're not back yet. And he carefully kind of goes over and he grabs on one of the shelves nearby. He grabs this big, like, heavy wrench or some kind of, tool. And he looks around. He slowly starts making his way up and down the walkways, or the shelving units. And we see this now from very, very high up. And he's walking along through these empty shelving displays, gripping that big, heavy tool tighter and tighter. And you're looking around. I can hear you still. And you hear off again. He looks one way, looks the other way, and he hears something rattle above him. And as he looks up, we then see a look of horror cross his face. And we fade to black. And we pick up, as we come back in, with a much louder sound. And this is the sound of an entire full kind of market area. A bunch of people, and what we see is effectively like a, if you can picture the, like, street scenes in, there's not horses there, though.
Space horses.
There's a distinct, leaning into fantasy sounds for Roll20 than it is for sci-fi stuff. What you hear is there's the sound of this, like, bizarre. And if you think of the picture the scene from Blade Runner when they're on the street and everyone's crowded in there and it's still dark and, like, things are dripping down, this is what you're seeing. And the white lettering tells us 4 days later. And cutting their way through this crowd are 2 figures that the camera kind of dwells on. And those 2 are a hulking Vesk and a willowy drow. And what you guys are pushing, and I'm guessing it's Voldan who is the one who is pushing this stuff. You're pushing along this crate, or this kind of like a hover kind of like sled. And stacked on it, there are a couple barrels. And this is fuel that you've retrieved. It's some kind of, like, not like starship fuel, but it's something that's used in the course of operating the Liberator 2. And you're making your way through the crowd trying to get back to the ship. And Voldan, this is a way that Kat assured you this was a shortcut to get to one of the kind of like industrial service elevators. But this has been a total fucking pain in the ass trying to get through this crowd. So you get to another point, and then once again, there's a small, like, train of like hand-drawn things that cut through some of the dingier levels, or hand-drawn carts that go through the dingier levels of Absalom Station, that cuts you off once again. And as this crowd moves in front of you, you once again find yourself at a stop. You've likely been traveling now through this part of Absalom Station since you picked up the supplies for about maybe 2 hours, 2.5 hours. So,
Really?
How is Voldan feeling about this?
Angry. I mean, that is not. I'm a fighter, not here to pull a cart or push a cart or something like that. So I think I could just growl at random people who are in my way.
Okay. So there's a small train of let's say, like, there's it's a bunch of Kasathan mystics that are sort of making their way through. They got long robes on, and it seems like church must have just let out, because there seems like there's a lot of them. You finally have a low growl in the back of your throat, and they all sort of look over and carefully make a path for you and Kat to make your way through. Kat, what are you doing through this as you to sort of?
Well, if Zoldan's on the back, I'm sort of on the front trying to help steer it. I'd imagine it's probably got a wonky wheel somewhere, so it's a question of it tries to veer off and
the
wall, a bit like a ducky.
So there's maybe like a sputtering hover, jet or something that's kind of like, so it swerves to the side every now and then. So you make your way through that, and you finally see your destination. And there's a bank. One of the ways you can navigate around on Absalom Station is it's the Starfinder equivalent of, like, turbo lifts. So there's elevators that get you around different places. There's ones that are effectively like passenger only, and there are ones that are industrial things that sort of get you to the industrial areas, the warehouses, the repair bays, and then the hangars as well. So this is going to be how you're going to get this stuff back to the what do you call it? Get it back to the Liberator 2. Voldan, finally. 2.5 hours, you finally see your destination. I think that in a bit of frustration and a bit of celebration, you growl out one more time, and the crowd clears to let you get through to this elevator. And the elevator itself is, if you picture like those kind of things where like you got to pull down metal grating to seal the thing off. It's much more tactile like that. Like it's not a Star Trek kind of like door opens on its own. You got to lock the thing and seal it and whatever. So you guys wait for a bit. It finally arrives. It opens up, and then you guys bring your stuff in. There's a couple of other passengers that are on there. And it'll probably take you about half an hour to reach your final destination, just because they're not a direct route. They'll run sideways, upwards, downwards, whatever, to take you to your destination through the various kind of like high-tech equivalents of pneumatic tubes that would take you through the Absalon station. At one point, as it's letting new passengers on and letting other ones off, the door opens, and in walks another Vesk. But this Vesk is dressed in the uniform of the Veskarium Navy. And Pete, this is you. So as Zedek steps into there, you look over and what you see is I can't remember, Voldan, are you wearing like ceremonial armor from the Veskarium, or is it some other kind of armor?
I used to wear, so if this is a war story, I should wear some ceremonial plate armor, but that is second hand, maybe.
Okay.
So,
Zedek, what does Zedek look like as he walks on?
Zedek is tall, lithe, very handsome for a Vesk. His scales are well tended, and his uniform is expertly cut, so it fits him perfectly as he moves. He has a small weapon at his side, but he kind of steps in and looks at Voldan. Doesn't really worry about anything else. Gives him a.
So what you can tell.
Nod.
Let's do this. Let's get some dice rolling because that's I don't know. I like doing that. Let's. Why don't you give me a society check, please? Or not society. What it's called? Culture. Culture.
Who is you?
Oh, sorry. Pete.
Yeah.
Who's you? That's the eternal question in golf.
12.
Okay, so I think you know what. That's not quite good enough to to really like see through it. So at passing glance, you're like, oh, another member of the Veskarium. Oh, and Pete and Ben, one house rule I use for this is we have something called Nova points we use. So you can basically it's a meta currency you can spend to re-roll dice rolls to get an auto success on a saving throw, to make a small edit to a scene, or to then normally at the end of a session, the Nova points convert into resolve points. So you can feel free to take advantage. You'll each have.
I think it's a bit early to use my Nova points.
Absolutely,
I've been watching your show, by the way. I do enjoy the Aeon Throne. I'm a couple of episodes behind. But
Nice.
I'm about to catch up.
Excellent. So you look over, and I think that you at a glance you sort of assume that Voldan is a member of the Veskarium Navy, but he's got. Is he with this drow? So you kind of like, do you react whatsoever to this, or?
So which language is he using for that?
Is it just the three of us?
Right now, it's just the three of you in this elevator. Yeah.
Then I shall, completely disregarding the drow, say to Voldan, "You keep interesting company, my friend."
In Vesk, I'm assuming.
Yes.
Yeah. So you snore, and JT does. Nice. Does JT speak Vesk?
Yep, he does.
Okay, so you hear. Yeah, I think that's the sort of the common language with the crew. So he says you keep strange company. Interesting company. Forgive me. Voldan, what do you make of that?
I don't know. Maybe I'm impressed by this guy who seems to be from the legit military and not like me. I'm a mercenary. So, yes.
Nice. As always, the effervescent personality of Voltan. And then the thing kind of, comes to a stop again. The door opens, and in walks this little Yasaki. Ben, what does the Yasaki look like? What do we see as Ansi Eclipse comes in?
Small, slightly cocky-looking Isoki, fairly average looking for his race, but something strange about the eyes, something not quite right there.
Okay.
Little glints of cyberware popping out here and there, pistol at his side. Doesn't appear to be too worried by anything that's going on. But one look at two Vesk and a Drow, and it's like, oh, this is a setup for a bad joke.
Okay. So you walk in, and then you seal the I think with some help from the others, because it is quite tall to do it. Actually, hold on. You don't have your cantrip. Do you have what is it? Telekinetic hand, or it's this?
I believe so.
So would you bother using
Psychokinetic hand?
Psychokinetic. That's what it is. Yeah. Would you bother using that?
I'm not getting big folk to ask. It is only a cantrip, so yeah.
Okay. So you guys see the Ansi gets onto, or the little Yasaki gets onto the elevator as well, and then what do we see as he closes this thing with his mind?
Well, kind of goes for two hands on the bottom part of the door, and then looks up, realizes he can't reach the bottom half, quirks an eyebrow and strains a little bit, and the top half closes down as well.
Okay. It seals, and then the elevator kind of rattles and starts moving again. Now, as you guys are you're kind of standing around, it's that well, I mean, you can tell me if this is wrong, but I'm imagining it's that like elevator silence where no one's trying to make eye contact, no one's trying to make small talk, and you're all kind of like watching the levels as it's flashing by the little display, trying to show where you're going to go. And that's when the whole thing kind of, it shakes for a moment, and the lights flicker in like on and off, and then it starts moving in a different direction. Now, since none of you know where the where the others are destined for or are going to, you don't know you can't really tell whether this is a right or a wrong direction. It is a little unusual for it to be that finicky, like that.
Is it like sudden and unexpected and not smooth like it normally is?
Absolutely, yeah. Like these things are freight elevators, effectively. So they make noise as they move. And Absalom Station at certain levels is not new, So it's got that whine that like even a well-serviced elevator might have for a freight elevator. But this is something unusual, And
I'll look at the Vesk and say, "Where are you headed?"
I look at JT, and then I'll ask, was that another shortcut?
I don't know, we're supposed to be going to Bay 57. Let me have a look, and I'll pull out his data pad and unplug a panel and see if we can...
Can I sense
first you'll try and look it up,
please?
and then I'll try and plug my computer into the some maintenance panel and see if I can see where we're actually going.
So you get sorry, Pete, what did you say? I didn't...
Can I sense motive on these guys?
Okay, what is your sense motive bonus?
I've got expertise. It should already be taken.
Yeah, it should be calculated in there. So whatever the bonus is.
Plus
6.
Yeah.
Okay. What are you trying to pick up from them?
Well, it seemed like the vest guy has no idea what's going on, and is merely carrying a large box. And this, I don't mean stereotype, but dodgy-looking drow is hacking the lift. So, do they really know what they're doing? That's more.
Yeah. So this is definitely unusual. Yeah. I mean, I don't think there's. You can. I think you've read the situation correctly for what is going on. So you, JT, you pop the thing. The thing you notice though is that, like, basically as you've got stuff set up, one thing you notice is the Infolink connection or the Infosphere connection is flickering. So it's not quite maintaining. And then as you sort of finish plugging stuff in, the whole thing kind of comes to a sudden halt. You hear a and then the lights are out.
Okay.
So the natural,
Cat
the natural conclusion you can reach with your sense motive, Zedek, is that what did this drow just do to this fucking?
Yeah. Step away from the panel.
Okay, now hold on. Do Vesk have dark vision? I can't remember.
Low light.
Low light vision.
Low light vision. Okay, so this is pure darkness. I think it's only Cat and Ansi who can see right now.
Okay, Cat's going to pop his dancing lights just to give everyone else a thing.
Okay.
Anyone else got any bars? I've lost connection.
When the lights come on, you'll see I've got my gun in my hand.
Okay. Ansi, what do you make of this?
Vesk. Right, okay, I'm going to try and access the infosphere as well.
Well, Cat's going to just say calm down in Vesk.
Okay. Nice. Let me see if I can get Voldan's picture back here.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Boom. And go Mo. No, what I've done is I've just made it. Pete and Ben, would you mind clicking on reconnect one more time? I've managed to fuck up your camera displays now. Sorry.
Yeah. So I'm looking curiously at the gun pointing at us.
Okay. Okay, so we've got a Veskian standoff here. Kat, you've got your stuff.
I'll put my gun away because sudden flash of lights. I thought someone's dropping a flashbang or something like that. So I'll put my gun away.
Okay. So, this is the situation you guys find yourself in. There is Kat. You have no connection. Ansi, I think you said you were checking your connection as well.
Yeah.
There's no infosphere connection whatsoever here, and you're not even aware. Yeah, like this is. You got to be in a really.
How rare is that?
That is, with your engineering, that'll be good enough. Like, you need to be near a really powerful, like a really significant power source or something like that in order for the infosphere connection to be, like, even parts of Absalom Station that are really shitty, the signal effectively gets through there. So it's weird that this would be cut out altogether.
Is there anything weird going on? I'm going to sort of try and sense weirdness.
Sense weirdness. Do you mean like unnatural or like arcana?
Yeah, I mean like unnatural
Sure.
strangeness. I'm thinking mysticism, kind of what's going on. Is there anything?
Sure. Why don't you do this? Let's see. Give me a mysticism check, please, and then give us a description of what does it look like as Ansi uses his detect magic cantrip, which is what it sounds like.
I am just kind of rolling my eyes back into my head a little bit and flicking them backwards and forwards as I reach out with my mind to see what's going on. It's gone a bit Matrix.
Sure, yeah. Okay. So give us a... Oh, nice. Okay, so mysticism, 17. So, what you can pick up is that there is no obvious source of, like, enchantment, or there's not an active... spell or ritual or something like that is in place, or psychic phenomenon. It's whatever the issue is here, it does seem to be physical, at least from what you can sense right now. So what about the rest of you guys?
Is there an access hatch in the ceiling?
There is.
Yeah. I'm going to see if I can find where the power is and see if I can get the power back on.
Sure. Okay. So who's gonna?
I put lights up on the ceiling, so it should be fairly good light for everyone.
Okay, so those drift up into the ceiling. You guys have illumination. The access hatch is going to require someone else to boost someone up.
I'm gonna cup a boost for Volden.
Okay.
I'm gonna.
What?
I'm gonna stand in front. I'm gonna kneel down and go. Come on, big guy.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm Voldan. What are you doing there? It's too early to surrender now.
I'm giving you a boost, my friend.
Can't you climb on the drums?
Yeah, but what should I do? I'm sorry. JT, can you handle that? I don't know what he wants from me.
I'll sigh and say so captains, they always just look good on the bridge. Right, so I'll jump up on top of the barrels or move it from it's there, and then I'll try and can I reach from where I am?
You can, yeah, because if standing on the barrels, you can get up there, and what happens is when you push the thing up, it hits up against something.
Okay.
And you're kind of, let me, hold on.
Is that one of those horses from earlier?
Yeah, I just heard a horse in my ear. I'm like, I don't need that.
All right.
So you push
it
up
a harder
and
shot. I assume it's hitting against some sort of. How far open can I get it?
You can get it about maybe 2 inches. And why don't you give me a, let's see here. You give me an engineering check. This is just kind of a general information thing. Let's see how much you know about.
I would have my toolkits with me, but I doubt I've got.
This is a knowledge thing, so your tools aren't really gonna help you.
Not that sort of
Let me contemplate my screwdriver.
Oh hell, sorry, it's been 2 weeks and I've been playing Pathfinder this afternoon. Come back.
JT, do you need my hammer?
In a moment. Okay.
Nat 1. Nice.
Yeah, I sort of jam. I sort of jam my thumb in there and sort of. Ow.
So I think
if got something big and heavy, I can hit it with.
You know what? Like there's a lot of things that your character knows an awful lot about. The particulars of the mechanisms of the freight turbo lifts in Absalom Station is something you don't know. You've never turned your mind to it. You never learned anything about it. So even the most basic thing of like, is this the way these things are supposed to work? You can't even tell that.
I'll turn to the others and say, look, can we try and get the doors open? Maybe we've stopped at a level.
Fine idea. I'll step over and try and get something to wedge the doors open.
So it's going to take a 2-stage process, and what you know is that what you quickly find out is that once you try and pull this thing open, it seems like the first grate kind of like opens up, but the second one, it's got no power. So you're going to have to kind of like, put your back into it. But I think between Voldan and Zedek, you guys are both pretty big. What are your respect? I know, Voldan, your strength is what? 16, 18?
16.
16? And Zedek, what is yours?
12.
12, okay. Maybe not quite as big as we thought. So, but between...
But I try and big myself up a bit to make me look a little bit, like I've just been to the gym.
Okay, so you get over there and you see, like, much as you seem to be, you're clearly part of the Veskarium proper military. This other Vesk is a little bit bigger than you and a little beefier, so he is able to get, both of you between the two of you, you get your claws on the kind of manual release thing. You hear the tuk, 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 as it unlocks, and then you push the doors open, and you actually have to force them open as well too. There's absolutely no power going to these. And this, guys, is what you see. Let me just... I'll reorient you guys here.
I'm looking forward to being on one of the player ends of your 3, 2, 1 reveal.
Yes!
Rather than the viewer end. 'Cause I get to see what...
Okay, so guys, this is what you see, is that this opens up into a sprawling, what looks like a service corridor. Now, does everyone... Let me see here. Who does not have sight right now? Voldan does. Okay. JT does. Zedek. Didn't I set you up properly here? Do. Okay, so you have sight, but let me give you. You flash the light on your whatever it is, the station wear attire, and then
station business wear.
Yes, and then
Yeah,
Ansi, I think you've already got dark vision, right? Yeah, so you can see. Okay, so let's see here. So it opens, and what you see is there's probably just the very, very faintest of light still within here. But what it is a service corridor that leads down ahead of you. And what this is like the grimiest of the grimy, part of the station. This is the area, the guts of that keeps Absalon Station functioning. If you picture the inside of like the Nostromo in Alien, that's with all the different like tubes and whatever and piping. That's what you're in right now. You're in the service area, and from the looks of things, this may be a very, very old service area as well. Somewhere that has not seen people for quite some time. Now, one thing I want to point out, guys, and it's something that I really, really like about Pathfinder 2, is there's a specific action called Seek that you can take. And what Seek does is it specifically tries to obtain information. And that's, people always, in every other game, you got the idea of like, oh, you can make a perception check or whatever. But I really like the idea that it specifically calls out that as this is something you can do and what you're getting from that. So it opens up, and now every one of you individually knows that this was not your destination.
Really?
So
Speak for yourself.
You led into some shady dealings or
You
something.
don't know what officers get up to.
Okay. So this is a shortcut then. Okay. So I think I'll try
Is this
to.
not your floor then?
I don't know. I look at JT. I want to move the cradle out because supposedly we are where we want to go.
I don't think we are. I'm going to look around on the walls. Is there any indication of a serial number ID, so I can see this is level 27AB, or is it?
sure.
Yeah, I'm trying to work out where we are relative to Absalom.
You can step out there and you sort of, first off, there is a ton of grime. There is markings that are on the side, but as you sort of run your hand across it, you can see that it reveals the level, and it's like sub-level 356.4 or whatever. Why don't you give me a what is it? A society, I think. Check is what I want. Not a society. I keep going fucking PF2. Sorry.
Culture.
Culture. Yes, thank you. Culture is what I want, because that's history. So JT, give me a culture check. I just want to see if you can, how much you can piece together from this number. Okay. So you look at this, and this is part. You're kind of like close to the beating heart from the subsection gives you one part. Part of the number gives you the level that you're on. The other part of the number gives you sort of where in three-dimensional space you are, like what zone you're in. This is not a zone you're familiar with at all. You've never been here before, and from the looks of things, there's not been a lot of people down here in quite some time.
Walk around to that corner and sort of look there.
Yeah.
I'm.
If anyone else wants to try and like piece something like that together, you guys can feel free to make a culture check as well.
So we're still out on terms of signal, aren't we?
Yeah.
Still no signal, still no lighting.
Surely there's going to be another elevator around here somewhere. Why don't we... I'll point at JT and say, come on, chap, why don't you head down the corridor and find something for us?
Yeah.
You seem to be the capable one.
So there's a couple things. Zedek, I don't think you're super familiar with Absalon Station, or you may not be. I'm fine one way or the other.
I'm not.
You're normally a part
Just
of
been on a ship recently and I haven't got a clue.
Okay, but Ansi, I think you probably have been here for a while for whatever reason. So Ansi, Kat, and Volden, just to be clear, like this is not how these elevators operate. They're not supposed to lose power. They're not supposed to drop you off in the middle of nowhere.
We're not supposed to be down this far without permission and clearance.
Yeah, like this is an area that is actually... Well, actually...
Don't worry about
We're
clearance.
quite down the spike.
Ansi, give me a culture check, will you? Let's see how... Ansi is not... Yeah. You don't know anything about this either.
Must be near the gravity generators. Should start feeling heavier any time.
I don't know. I think we're actually down the spike. So we're, for those of you who are not sure, the bit of Absalom that goes up is where the posh people live. The bit that points down, where we are, is where the other people live.
Yeah, that's where we come from. You know.
Definitely gone the wrong way then.
Zedek,
Yeah. Well,
one
let's
thing
try
you-
and find somewhere a bit we can work out where we are.
Zedek, one thing you notice is that as you're kind of looking around on here, you see near the top of the there's the pipes that run along the walls. There's heavy metal plating, like the sort of the bones of Absalon Station, if you will. But it looks like there is something that's been set in there fairly recently, and it's only because there's maybe, as your light goes across it, there's a reflection from steel or metal of some kind. And when you get over closer to it and take a look, there is a speaker of some kind that has been installed on here, and it looks like it actually may be not only a speaker, but may have other audiovisual capabilities too. So you kind of look up at this thing, and as they do, you hear it kind of does that, like, cab speaker kind of like as it kind of comes on, and you all hear this. You hear from further down the corridor as well too. It's the sound of, and there's just a slight breeze that is coming from that direction as well.
I think I want to take a look down that corridor and see what I can see.
Sure. So you go ahead, move yourself up to the corridor there. You're moving in complete darkness right now too, I'm assuming, because you've got your dark vision.
Yeah, so I kind of want to
let me know if you want me to send some lights down there,
Okay.
because I'm keeping them back here in this sort of group.
So what you can see, Nancy, from getting down to the end there, is there's a much stronger breeze. The closer you get down to that junction, the stronger the breeze is. And what you can see is that down here, there are these massive fans that are blowing down. And looking in the other direction, there are another corresponding pair that are blowing, like circulating air up and down in here. And along in here as well too, there is all this, so there's the continued piping and whatever else. And you look, it appears that there is a room beyond that fan where you have to get a little closer to see what the hell it is.
All right, I shall continue to move up to there then.
Okay. Are you making any effort to be quiet, or are you just kind of
Yes,
strong?
let me do that
Okay.
for you. Do.
Nice case. So you're pretty quiet.
Yep.
All right. So as you're making your way along here, let's just quickly cut back to the others. So Zedek, you saw that speaker; it kind of popped for you. What are you guys doing right now? Or what do you do anything to respond to that? Do you bring it to anyone's attention, or what? Oh, Pete.
Sorry.
Do you do anything? Like you've seen that speaker now?
Sorry, it went a bit crackly there.
No, that's okay.
I am going to tap it with my gun.
Okay, so you tap it, and then there is this kind of like like it's, imagine like a high-pitched version of like an old modem.
Okay.
That like and it comes.
The
It
dolphin
sounds
modem.
like there are more than one of these speakers, because it suddenly fills these corridors for a split second. And Ansi, because you're off on your own, you're making your way down, and suddenly there's this sound, and then as suddenly as it started, it ends. And you hear from somewhere off. Actually, let's see here. Ansi, what's your perception bonus?
It is. I have 10 with a.
Plus 10. Holy smokes.
I
Oh, yeah,
have
'cause you're a
3
mystic.
ranks plus my wisdom bonus of 4.
Yeah, the
and
over
it's a
total
career
bonuses.
skill, so-
Yeah,
so the
total
whole thing
bonuses
is
is all I
10.
need. Okay, so then you stop, and then you hear from somewhere beyond here, you hear the sound of this kind of like that echoes down the corridor.
Which direction? From the bottom or from
somewhere
the room?
off in here.
Mm-hmm.
And you hear the sound of something heavy hit against like a metal surface, and you hear some skittering.
I may tactically withdraw.
Okay. So you casually make your way back. Voldan, JT, and Zedek, what have you guys been doing after that sound issued from the speakers?
Let me just. Can I make a profession soldier check? I was just want to know whether Zedek feels like he knows what he's doing. So is he a freshman in the army or someone who is experienced?
Sure. Let's you know what? I will let Pete decide whether how Zedek is reacting here, and then we'll figure out whether we need to. Like, how do you think Zedek is reacting to this?
Clearly more suited to ordering people around and being on a ship.
Nice.
He's a space bard,
Oh yeah,
basically.
Okay. So Voldan, you get the sense there's, well, I mean, given how knowledgeable you are about like mercenary ways and whatever else, and how much you obsess over like the Veskarium or whatnot, yeah, you've heard that there are the kind of like, the gilded class for the military for the Veskarium, and there's the ones who fight and bleed. This seems to be maybe one of the former.
Yeah. Okay. So I think I grab my hammer, look at the Izoki, and say, "Have you seen anything?"
Yeah, there's something up there.
Oh, that sounds interesting. Let's go.
Big room, couple of fans, something's in there. Doesn't sound friendly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what do you guys want to do?
I think I just look back to JT. Proceed.
I don't know. I'm getting my comm unit out, and I'm setting it to record, and I'll say to Zedek, try that again with a gun, and I'll see if I can work out what that was.
Tap, tap,
Bang,
tap.
bang.
Nothing.
Yeah, gentler this time because I'm a little bit.
Sure. Okay, so you kind of tap it, and let me see here, guys. Zedek. Oh, Zedek, what is your perception bonus?
So I'm trying to record it, and then I'll effectively try and use my computer skills to analyze it.
Yeah, let's just see here. So
My perception bonus is 6.
+6. Okay, so Zedek, as you get up there and you tap it, I'm imagining there's another light that's on there from Voldan's armor now too, and you see there actually might be a 360 angle camera on this thing as well too. And we sort of like in the film version we would cut over to see like that weird fisheye version of you guys all standing around kind of tapping at this thing.
It just zooms out through a screen.
Yeah. So then we cut back to you guys, and
And I'll turn around and I'll be like,
okay. So you
my back is to it,
Yeah.
and I'll look at the drow like,
Okay, Kat, what do you make of that? There is no sound as well too. The tapping on a second time does not do anything.
Cat's going to rip off a piece of gaffer tape from his backpack and stick it over the lens.
Okay. Done. Okay, but
And he'll sort of point down the corridor.
now, as you okay, I'm assuming you were keeping a close eye out as you go along as well. And Zedek, because I made a perception check for you and I rolled a nat 20. You can sort of the feeling that you get of someone that you can't see watching you is confirmed, or at least is supported when you see another one of these speakers, and then another one, and trying not to look up too obviously, but you can see that there is cameras on each of those as well. So what do you guys... Pete, can you still hear us?
I can.
Okay, I just gained Ingolf and I lost you. Video.
Yes. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, yeah.
My video seems to be...
Yeah, Roll20 has been really finicky on some days.
Yeah, it has,
Let's
isn't
see
it?
here. You're blacked
I
out.
can see JT.
Okay, Cat's going to make sure he's got his gun out now. He unzips his jumpsuit,
Okay.
pulls out
Yeah, that everything takes just too long. So
Okay.
Follow me. I just move into this corridor and look around.
Okay. So you get to
I'm going to move back up to there now that I have a meat shield.
the... All right, you guys can feel free to move yourselves up there. So as you get there, again, you all now see what Ansi saw before, which is that there's those big fans, you know, and these are things that are like basically filling the entire corridor. And as you get closer, it's more of a, you know, a slight breeze that's being pushed past you. So what do you guys do? Through that, you can see that there is basically like a workbench. This appears to be like some kind of service area, but Voldan, even you know, with your limited understanding of engineering and whatever else, looking through, this looks like it hasn't been used in a very, very, very long time. Let me see here.
We've got a better chance of getting back into the infosphere through there than we have in here, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Ansi, because you sort of started, you know, looking before, and also because you're a little closer to the ground, as you're making your way along, you know, maybe like Voldan, you know, steps like almost on you at one point, so you kind of like, oh, jeez, and you look down, and it appears that there hasn't been a lot of people making their way around this, you know, this area for quite some time, because there are some pretty clear footprints that have been made in the grimy dirt that is on the ground. And do you have any training in life sciences?
Oh, do I? Yes.
Oh,
I
do. Okay, yeah, go ahead. Give me a life sciences check, please. Okay, so you're going to learn a little bit of stuff.
I'm rolling pretty badly.
You're getting the bad ones out of the way before things get dangerous.
Because my life sciences is actually 7, so that's a really low roll.
Well, yeah, I mean, you got a Nova point if you want to re-roll.
No, it's not that serious.
Okay.
I'm curious as to what manner of man or beast be it.
Okay. So what you
Are
can
we talking
see...
boot prints, shoe prints, big claws?
Yeah, so it's about, it is about, like 2/3 of a foot across. So it's about 8 inches across. It has a narrow kind of like heel imprint, and then there are 3 digits that seem to, from the scrapes on the floor, seem to be...
Chicken in high heels.
Yes, exactly. So it's... Yeah, and it does appear there's
Yeah, we're not alone down here, lads.
Just a question, I didn't get it. So we have to move through the fence to get in the next room? Or...
Yeah, the fans are big, like as big as you. You'll have to either disable them or...
Yeah, okay, so...
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay, in that case, let me through, guys. I'll see if I can disable the fans.
Okay.
Right, I'll move up in front of Voldan, and I will have a look at the fans. They presumably completely cover the passageway we're in.
Yeah. Yeah, so long as you... well, so as you're getting closer, what you actually notice is that there may not be any... This may just be natural airflow that's moving these fans. There may not be any power behind this.
Oh, okay. I'll get the handle or something, and so they're not moving very fast.
No, they're just kind of lazily... And this is when all of you guys hear from elsewhere in the... Somewhere deeper in this level, you hear that same... That echoes down the corridor, and you all kind of look back and forth. It's not from this room, but somewhere deeper in this level. Ansi, why don't you give me a perception check? Let's see if you can tell whether it was the same region or not. Okay, so you definitely can tell that this is not the same That's not from the same area. This is from some, like, it's echoing. Oh god, there's like piping and stuff like that, but there are gaps in the ceiling as well too, where more piping and more kind of service ducts, you know, would run.
Good news, bad news. Good news, we're not alone. Bad news, we're not alone. It's moving as well. It was up ahead earlier, it's moved. Sounds
Okay.
like the same thing. But
Okay,
either it knows we're here, or it's on the prowl.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let me see if I can get us through these fans. I'll sort of try and dismantle the front end of it and see if I can like stop the fans.
Sure.
How many? Well, I'll try and stop them. See how many blades there are. If we can put them all up vertical. We can
Well, I mean, like
maybe
they would
side.
move individually. They don't like or they move all together. They don't have. It's a fan. They're not like individual blades that go around. But give me
So, I mean, is it like 2 or 4? If
4.
it's 2, we can put them vertical, and then there'll be a
4 probably 4 or 5. Why don't you give me an engineering check? Let's see if how that goes. And you can get your tool bonus from this one.
all right.
Isn't there just
Yeah,
a
I've got.
switch?
No, I've only got a hacking and a computer kit.
Okay, you don't have an engineering kit. Okay,
So
go
I've
ahead.
probably got a multi-tool or something on me, but no actual kit for.
Oh,
and,
so
like-
that means there's gonna be a pretty substantial bonus or penalty because that's one of those skills you need to have a kit.
Yeah. Hang on. All right.
This, fortunately, though, is, I mean, it's a matter of just, you know, disassembling part of it and kind of gumming up the, you know, the mechanism. So, yeah, it does sort of, it grinds to a stop, and you guys are able to freely move through the fan safely. Or at least it appears to be the case.
Ah, God. I just moved through it. I mean,
Okay.
come on. What could happen?
Okay? So,
I love
Volden.
when the GM says that.
Yeah.
I'm going to be watching the rear as I move up behind everyone,
Okay.
but letting the others go through first.
I'm only little, so I'll squeeze through them round.
Okay. Zedek, what is your perception bonus again? +6? Yeah, okay.
Yes.
So, as you're kind of watching the back there, and you can picture that, you know, you don't have the benefit of dark vision. You're sort of like where your light is shining is where you can see. So you hear kind of a clang from somewhere in the ceiling. You angle your light up there. You point your pistol in that direction too. But there's nothing further. That sound seems to come from around here. Oh, let me ping. Around here, closer to the end of the corridor.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Your allies have all moved through the fan. When
Okay.
you look back.
I'm not completely stupid though, so I am going to.
No fun for Kev. We're not splitting the party.
I'm not going to split the pie. I
Okay.
GM too many games
Okay.
to do that to somebody else.
Okay.
The cat moves out the way.
So yeah, I can move a little bit further.
So as you
So
guys,
are you guys coming?
Can I sneak through then?
yeah, absolutely. So as you guys make your way in here, you can picture you step down and through the fan, and then out into this room. So this room is as you expected. This is a some kind of tech workshop. Now let me see here. Anyone who is trained in engineering, you can go, or trained in culture, you can go ahead and give me a check again. Looking around, this has got, you know, there's drone recharging stations, work counters, tables, tools, and stuff like that. But you can tell just at a glance that it's been a long time since this thing has been serviced. Whoa, cat, nice. There's where the nat 20s
Cat
are
sort of
coming
does
in.
that whole thing with their fingers and sort of his eyes light up, seeing as what he can borrow.
Yeah, yeah. So what you can tell, Cat, is the stuff that's in here. I think it's probably. Well, let me ask you this: how do you think that Cat would know the age of stuff? Like, what would be what's his backstory that where he would be able to recognize, like, oh my god, this tech is clearly, you know, quite old. What do you think?
Well, he was primarily into armory and stuff, amongst other things. But yeah, Bogdan will know that he's specialised in engineering and computers. So
Okay.
you'll probably actually say, "Oh, that's a Mark 79A Hitachi, whatever, and they stopped making those 20 years ago.
Okay.
So he's really looking at some of the computer kit and saying, okay, that's out of date. That's like 50
Yeah.
years old.
Sure. Okay. So looking at this stuff, this is like, yeah, good lord. Like looking at this material, and this is the stuff that's built, like not lying on the tech counter. This is the stuff that's built into the walls and that makes up the hardware for this tech bay. This stuff has not been used probably in at least 200 years. This stuff may actually date back to the time of the Magefire assault. From the time from 210 years ago, or 310 years ago, geez, when the Bone Sages of Eox attacked Absalom Station, before the Pact Worlds, before the Veskarium were encountered, before the Swarm ever came. This is a very old level that you're on right now.
This would be like seeing like the classic Frankenstein's lab in Hollywood. They've got the knife switches, the open switches, and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Wow, this is older than I am.
Yeah.
So this is older than my mum almost.
Yeah.
Right.
Even though it's old,
it look like people have been here. I mean, the equipment's old, but have people been working here?
I was just going to say.
Yeah.
Does the bench look
sure
not covered in dust?
Why doesn't everyone give me? Let's give me a perception check, guys. Let's see how everyone plays out, and we'll let the dice dictate stuff. So Voldan clearly is not paying attention to what's around him. But what is Voldan doing during this time? So what is monopolizing his attention?
Yeah, well, I'm looking around for. There was some kind of creature, I was told, so there should be. I mean, someone to hit or something, but I don't see anyone.
All right, so Ansi, for sure, looking around, you can tell that there's more of those the same markings for whatever is in here, and the stride is quite long, like it's easily the size of a man. And because
I've been focusing on looking through the doorways as well, so I want to see if I can see anything else, any other prints in any other nearby rooms or anything.
Yeah, in addition to that, what you see is there is through one of the corridors. I think you first spot it because it's each one of these doorways where that blue heavy thing, the blue rectangle is. Those are blast doors. Those are doors that would seal to protect the pressure and whatnot. It was a caution that was taken in some levels sometimes. So you might be closer to the edge of the station than what you guys thought. But what you see over one of those at first is there's like streaks as if something was dragged. And that prompts you to sort of look back and look along. And it appears that something may have actually been dragged along through this room. You've got lighting on your armor as well too, so if you just like flick a light on for a sec and just to see where the light plays with it, along the thing, you would guess that something was dragged all the way along this corridor and all the way through here and then deeper in, and it appears that the drags continue to go in this direction here.
Oh, well, that's nice. Looks like something's been dragging stuff through here, and it keeps going. Goes into the next room as well. Only this is a blast door. I don't know if it'll open or not.
Those doors are actually, all of them are open.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Yeah, then
went wandering up the far end of the room.
yeah, let's go through it. Just find out.
Okay. In that case, Cat's going to have a look through that other sort of door up here. Here, down there.
Okay.
Oh, I think it joins up when he sort of points that way.
Now, Ansi hold on. Zedek did really, really well too. Just before we move forward here, let's so Zedek, you can see.
I was going to be looking at the screens and like the systems here. Does it show you what's recently been going on? The last time someone used the systems, that kind of thing.
So what you can see is there's no power to these systems at all too, so you're not able to call anything up on it. But what you can see, because and again, it's sort of that trick of the light thing, the grime and dust and whatever else that has settled on this thing, you can see that there is. At least at some point, there's someone who's been, their fingerprints are on here. So you would guess, and that's much more recent. This is not, you know, it's like the, you know, the smears you see on like a smartphone, right? Someone's been working in the station.
How big are the fingers?
Fingers are human size.
Okay.
There are no, because you're Vesk as well too, no claws on them though.
Okay.
Okay. You can also see down in this direction, guys, there is it looks like a the industrial kind of heart of or one of the industrial hearts of this level. There's big like generators, and you know, there, it appears like there are right around here too. There might be more doors leading to what do you call it? Like turbo shafts or turbo lifts.
Oh, that's definitely the way to go then. I've got a very busy meeting to attend to.
Okay. So you guys are starting to move off, and let me do this.
So are we following the dragging body, or do we want to go into what appears to be this larger area?
Well,
I think we should stick together.
Yeah, I had the impression we wanted to move north, but probably we are moving south. So I don't know. Just tell me.
Well, we heard the noises from the south, so I think going north and find out where we are. Yeah, I'm
Very
sure
well.
the stewards might be interested anyway.
Yes.
Okay, so Ansi, what you can see
Let's
there.
remember where the other lifts were, though, shall we? Let's remember that just back
Okay.
here.
Okay. Now, what you guys can see from where Ansi is, as you're passing by, you see where those doors are down here?
Mm-hmm.
These are a turbo shaft as well. Now, hold on, guys. I'm going to move Zedek back here, just because
Okay.
where this is all sort of happening simultaneoly, and unfortunately, it takes me longer to explain what you're seeing than it is to just move. Ansi, what you see as you go by is these are like elevator lifts as well. But in here, guys, like, it's old and it's grimy, and you know, it's definitely seen better times. But in its prime, this is like, you know, stumbling across an abandoned resort. You know, something that's been left to the elements for 40 years or 50 years, something that has not had the maintenance and whatnot. But underneath the grime and the weight of time, you can still see the, you know, the effort at luxury and grandeur that's still there. And that's kind of, you know, what you can see in here. What is this level? This is a marked contrast to the bay. Like the repair bay is a functional, or the tech bay there. That's a functional area. That's somewhere where like the maintenance people and whatever else would be operating. This seems to be something very, very different. Once you step out of there, you're stepping from the, like, you know, hotel maintenance closet out into the grandeur of the finest hotels in the biggest cities. But it's been very, very long since anyone
Is this some
has been
kind
here.
of bunker for rich people?
Yeah, and you can see as well what these would have been. These are elevators as well that would lead between floors. And that is the reason I wanted you to hold there. Is there is something coming. JT, what is your perception bonus?
Nine.
9, okay. And here we go. Oops. Fuck off screen. I don't know what it is about the Starfinder character sheets, but they certainly, when they're open, they chew up processing power like crazy. Okay. All right. Now, guys, as you're all sort of like idly chatting with each other, you know, saying back and forth about what are you seeing, blah blah blah. And let me reorient you guys here so that everyone is in the same area. Boom.
Cat's having a scrabble around to see if he can find any UVPs or
Sure.
useful stuff.
You're looking off, and unfortunately, there's this moment where you're kind of looking in the what do you call it? In the side there, trying to pull something out, and that's when you hear next to you this, and there's that slow kind of turn over there. And this one's for you, Pete. Ready? 1, 2, 3. What is looming over you?
What the fuck is that?
Is this? Now, would everyone? Let me make sure I've got the thing cleared out here. Where's my initiative tracker? Where are you? Boom. It's empty, so everyone click on your token first, then click on initiative, please.
Oh, sorry. I did do that.
Sorry.
Oh, right. Where's initiative? Is that on the character sheet?
Yeah.
It is, yeah.
Above health, right
yeah,
next
there
to
we
the
go.
abilities going. Yeah. Oh.
Okay. Excellent. All right, so let me set this. Oh, we need one more. Who am I missing here? Zedek, perfect. Okay, descending order. Boom. So top of the round, guys. I think you guys hear cats shout as this thing looming, because this thing stands about 7.5 feet tall. And all you can see right now is just this looming, form before you, Cat. Ansi, you were up first. You hear this scream from down the corridor. Each square will be 5 feet, guys. So, Ansi, you're up first. What do you want to do?
I can't actually see what's going on, so I'm going to have to move.
You can only
first.
hear the scream.
You heard me scream.
Yeah, exactly.
shall
Yeah, Zedek.
Yeah, I can only see Voldan at the minute. I don't know where the others even are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just.
So if I move to there, so there we go. Now I can see what's going on. So I
Yeah.
move 3 squares.
Okay. So what you see again is past Zedek and Kat, you can see this enormous thing looming over, and it does not seem to, it seems to be relishing in the horror of the reaction and not like pressing its attack. However, it does seem like it's going to get very angry, very violent very quickly. So, Anthony, that was only your move. You still have a standard and a swift, I think it's called. Is that right? What do you want to do?
Then
or minor?
I am going to... there's a thing. I am going to see if it is capable of thought by casting Detect Thoughts.
Detect Thoughts. Nice. Let's see what we see here. Okay. So one neat thing too, this may not be of interest for everybody, but the drag and drop feature for spells works perfectly now in the Starfinder character sheet. So as we level up characters, you can just drag and drop. Doesn't work for everything yet, but for that and for feats, it's working great. All right, so okay, so let's see here. You detect the thoughts of
So that looks like it might hit Zedek and Cat and the thing.
So you definitely can hear the thoughts and the panicked reaction. There's this wave of emotion that hits you as the visceral reaction that Kat and Zedek have to this thing hits you.
Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit.
This, I think it's only all you're picking up from in that general direction is like, it would be the equivalent of like imagine melding together the screaming of like an adult man with the sound of like 1,000 confined angry bees. That's what's kind of washing over your head. I think that's it for you.
I think so.
Zedek, what are you doing?
Okay. I'm going to step sideways, hopefully retain line of sight, and shoot it.
Okay.
I'm going to go there.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh, God!
What? I can still see it.
Yep.
But I'm clearing away for Voldan, because I've seen him with that big hammer, and I know he's probably going to come bolting through that door at some point. So I'm just stepping to the side.
Let me do this too, guys, because I've been doing this in Pathfinder, and I find it helped to give a sense of like how like the game mechanics are progressing here. I'm going to set up a health bar for this thing. You won't be able to see the numbers, but can you guys see the health bar now?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
At least to give a sense. That way you got a like easy read a sense of how this thing is being affected by your things. So, sorry, Pete. Go ahead. You were gonna.
So okay, I'm going to attack it.
Okay. So
let's get my character sheet up. Do I have to click on it?
you go on to attacks. No, you don't have to click on it. Just click on attacks and then click on the whatever weapon you are using. It will prompt you for whether it's a full attack or a partial attack.
Oh, I thought I had a gun.
You do. You should under attacks.
Explorer's hand coil.
That's it. Yep.
Yep.
It's an electricity gun, basically.
Okay. Full attack.
Well, I think because you stepped.
Yeah.
It can't be, so it's no.
Yeah. Boom. Okay, so you fire off. This is against EAC, and unfortunately, I think your nerves got the better of you. Oh! Now you do have a hero point, or hero point, noble point if you want to spend it to re-roll.
Yeah, why not?
Oh yeah, bigger, go home.
Why not? Hey?
Okay.
You only live once. I'm sure I'm going to get taken out by this thing at some point.
Nice. All right. So what does it look like as your electro beam hits this thing?
Step to the side, and there's a faint. I step in something on the floor, maybe something that was dragged across the floor, and I re-steady myself, and the charge passes by JT's shoulder and hits the creature.
All right, awesome, and it pulls back. Okay, speaking of JT, you are up next. What are you doing?
Oh, I'm going to effectively.
So I'm not playing peekaboo. I'm trying to check something on my screen.
Here, and as I go, I will do the trick attack. Effectively, I will use my comm unit to try and set off a spark or something on that bench next to it to distract it.
Sure, yeah. Well,
do you want to tell me?
Remember, there's no power to anything in here, so you can't do that. Do you have another idea?
So, well, what else can we-
No.
Can you do it on the light on my suit?
What about if you use stealth? Oh yeah, the light in suit. Yeah, totally.
No, I'll do it with stealth. Effectively, I'll kill my light and try and like trick it to see.
Okay.
Well, hopefully to try and distract it from where I'm going.
Okay.
Why is it very slow? There we are.
Okay, nice. Okay, so you got your number. Yeah, that is good enough to get your bonus. So
okay,
go ahead.
and then I'm going to shoot it with the water pistol.
Okay. Go ahead. Next up will be
that's the
Voldan.
equipment, not the attacks.
Yeah. You throw it at it. Take it. I have no use for this any longer. Oh, how are we doing there, Mo?
Yep.
Is it coming? Remember, did that thing pop up for asking for full attack?
Yeah, just it's incredibly slow this evening. It's normally pretty quick.
Roll 20 has proved to be nothing but a pain in the ass tonight, so.
Full attack, no. Submit. Oh. Okay, we'll take the
There
first
we
one.
go. Nice.
No,
Oh.
because it's not full attack, so I think that 11 was just like slowed. So
Okay,
that's
so shoot. So the first one, unfortunately, will not be good enough. Are you spending your own point for that second one?
no,
Or
I'll
action?
save it for when I'm dying.
Okay. All right, so you fire, and unfortunately, it goes this as big as this thing is. I think it just startled the hell out of you. You come staggering back, and maybe you hit your heel on the bottom of that.
Probably trip slightly as I go through that door, I think.
Yeah. Okay, then Captain Voldan, what are you doing?
Yeah, I think I move a little bit down here, and I can only get up to here. But I think the wise thing I can only do now is, since I have the hammer in my hand,
Yep.
I think I'm trying to intimidate it.
Does it? What is
Just-
it? I can see a charge is a full action. I can't remember if it allows you to move your full move or double your move.
Yeah, it could be. It's a double. Yeah, okay. So yeah, then I would do that. So the thing is, I couldn't see it from above, so
That's
I
true.
wouldn't
Yeah.
charge.
Charge is a full action, move up to double your speed in a straight line.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah.
You gotta be able to
Single
break
melee
that
attack at
hit.
-2 and -2 to your AC.
Yeah.
I'm fine
And
with
I
you
have
making
to
that
move
charge.
around.
Yeah. If you want to make it, go right ahead.
Okay, so then I'm going here and I'm smashing it with my hammer.
Go ahead, make your attack roll.
Yeah. So we must manually subtract. Oh no!
Once again, you threw it at someone.
Yeah, I don't know what this.
You're gonna be
Yeah.
under the attacks
It's
tab.
the equipment, not the attack.
Oh,
Nat 20! Nice! Holy shit! Alright. So you slam into this thing, and, like, you smash one of those arms off, and one of the little, like, appendages on the side. So let's see here. This is to give you a sense of how much. Check out its health bar. Boom!
Oh,
Wham! You slam this thing, and it staggers back. Okay. Voldan, now you unfortunately are engaged with this thing, though. So it is going to do a full attack on you. Lashes out first with its giant claw. Does a let's see here, does a 21 hit your KAC?
Yes.
Oh. 11 points of damage.
Oh.
And then it is going to try and bite with its slavering jaws, and I just rolled a nat 20. I'm going to stop rolling with that
nice.
blue dice. The blue dice needs to be put in the fuck off bin, because I keep rolling... Oh, I'm using the green dice for now.
I'm so sorry. I'm just no. I'm using the wrong stat. So
2. That means you take 14 points of damage from that bite as it sinks in. It clearly is not going to go down without a fight. Voldan, would you quickly give me an or a perception check too, please?
a perception check.
Yeah, yeah.
Really?
Nice. It's only when you're in the heat of battle. That's when your senses are to a razor sharp, keen edge. What you can smell. You've been in battle before with big, vicious beasties and things like that. The overwhelming scent you get from this, though, is rot. This doesn't smell like the insides of some giant, insectoid beast. This smells like the inside of some disgusting thing that baked in the sun and has been turned to corruption. So as you batter this thing away. Now, Ansi, your turn. What are you doing?
I'ma shoot it.
Okay.
I did consider going for the big psychic attack, but let's try shooting.
Okay. So do you want to make a... If you're not moving, you could make a full attack then?
Okay, well, there we go. Full attack, yes.
Whoa. Hold on, let's make sure the math is going right here. Yeah, the math is going right. That's just a 2 and a 5.
Wow.
So the way that the tactical rotating pistol is described is, or as I've put it, piss-all. It's like an old tiny kind of like Gatling type thing.
Oh right,
Yeah,
I picked it like a Magnum 357 kind of thing.
Yeah. You fire this thing twice and it goes completely wide. You do have a Nova point if you want to spend it.
No, not on that.
None of that. Okay.
Not on that.
Good lord. This thing, I love that your dice are supporting the, fearful reaction that your characters are having towards this. Oh, Zedek, what are you doing?
Well, having seen Voldan charge through and impressively smash the creature to bits,
Yeah.
I am going to, let me get this right, do an inspiring boost
Nice.
on him, and I'm gonna say, well done, chap. I knew you were here for a reason. Keep fighting.
Like
And
having the vest officer as if it's like, you know, the British officer from Zulu
hey,
is
hey.
fucking spot on. Love it. So why don't you click on your ability and it should display in the chat.
Yep.
Here we go. Nice. So
Signal
Voldan,
1
you
hour.
regain 10 stamina.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Awesome. You still have a move, and then a minor, I think. Swift, if you like as well.
Well, I'm probably just gonna take a slight step backwards so I can survey the battlefield correctly.
And all this
see
is
who needs
happening.
my assistance.
You're doing well, sir. Keep on going. You have it.
Exactly.
Full faith
Give
in
it up,
you.
old chap.
All right.
I'm loving the way that in actions in combat, right here in the GM screen, one of the options it gives you under other options is combat banter.
That's my swift action.
Nice. All right,
A bit of
JT,
balance.
what are you doing?
He's going to effectively. But his Voldan's in the way, so it's going to make the shot harder. He's going to effectively sidestep around the door so he can take cover. And I assume I can actually see it. I'm not going to.
So you're gonna kind of peek around the corner.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he's going to delay and sort of call out to Voldan, hit it, step back, and I'll shoot it.
Okay.
And then he's going to delay till after Voldan's done that.
Okay. Voldan, what are you doing?
That's a weird plan. Okay. Then yeah. Well. Okay. So he's the intelligent person in the room. So okay, I will hit the one and then see just that I move out of the way.
Ooh.
That's probably not a hit.
No, not quite good. It's a glancing hit off of its the chitinous carapace, but does not actually do any damage on it.
Yeah, that's no
myself
problem.
off.
I just step aside now and then.
Okay.
So,
And Kat, what are you doing?
I'm going to. I'll try stealth again to try and trick it.
You can't do that as a reaction. You have to do that all as part of your. Remember that's
Oh,
all.
I do. No, because I said I was reserving to shoot. Well, in that case, I'll just shoot.
Yeah, go ahead.
I moved, so that's a bit better.
Yeah.
30 feet,
Nice.
yeah.
Yes. So that is a hit. It pierces through this, and some of its like black, thick innards spray out the back. This thing is not looking terribly good right now, but it still has its unholy will to fight.
I'll try and do the come on to try and get it to run past Voldan and try and hurt me.
Yeah, no, it's definitely focusing on Voldan.
All right, okay.
yeah, that's good.
Okay. That is a 25.
Yeah, that hits.
You take 9 points of damage as that surviving claw rakes up. And you get the sense it was trying to grab you as well. So you pull yourself back. It didn't work well enough, but it is trying to pull you towards it. Ansi, you're up next. What are you doing?
I'm gonna try the shooting again. I know it didn't work terribly well last time, but what's the worst that can happen, right? At least there's no one in the way this time.
Yeah.
Boom.
Whoa, nice. Okay, so one of those hits, and I think... So what does it look like as you take this thing down?
I pop a shot and just right in the eye as it's going for Voldan, just one in the eye, totally lucky shot. Snap its head round and drop it to the ground.
It hits in the ground, and it's now that it's down, it's oozing out that disgusting kind of like bug-like innards. But again, like it's this stuff, it reeks. It's as if this thing has set to corruption. For it's black and thick, and there's probably like molds on some of its carapace as well. Now let's hear. I need Voldan to give me. You can give me that knowledge soldier thing. Zedek, give me a culture check. Okay, well, Voldan for sure knows what this is. I think...
Life scientist?
Yeah, go give me life sciences. Yeah, I buy that.
Yeah. I'm nice but dim.
Okay, so then, Voldan, you know precisely what this is. This is something that is part of the swarm.
Ah,
And the swarm is you guys will know, if you say that out loud, Zedek, you don't need to make a roll for that, because you know, like, the reason that the Veskarium ended its Cold War with the Pact Worlds was because of the threat of the swarm. And the swarm never got this close. The fact that this thing is in here is just, it's in the bowels of this, that is extremely troubling. The Shirin, of course, were part of the swarm at 1.2, but like, this is the, massive space bug, ever-consuming wave of destruction that was only brought to a halt due to the combined efforts of the Veskarium and the Pact Worlds. So how does Zedek react to knowing that this is what this adversary is?
Walk over and spit on it. This is disgusting. What are these foul creatures doing here?
And at that,
we're gonna have to save these pack worlds again.
As it spits, the whole shambling, broken form begins trembling. Now,
I'm gonna move away.
We know this is the point where we normally would take our break, so let's take a quick 5-minute break here.
Yeah, that's a good
refresh
idea.
our beverages, relieve our my old man bladder, and then we'll come back and see what is going to happen with this thing. Okay. Oop. All right. Alrighty. So okay, so we started late today too, guys. Our normal time now is for me is 11 till 2. But we didn't really get started until noon my time anyway. Do you guys want to play till like for the 4-hour session, or do you want to cut it at 3? Because I'm fine either way.
Cool.
What's that, Mo?
I'm fine. Yeah.
And Ingolf, what about you?
Yeah, it depends. What do you mean? So if we play 3 hours or 4 hours?
So at our normal time, we'd be wrapping up in 45 minutes.
Yeah.
But if we go in...
we can play an hour longer. That's okay.
Okay, so I'll check with Pete and Ben, and as long as they're good to go, we can just carry on till for an hour and 45. See if I can't finally kill Voldan. I mean, see if we...
I mean, it's not like he's afraid to die. I mean,
he certainly has been trying. You know, it's weird going from the PF2 action economy to this again. I might consider just going 3 actions with this as well, because I don't think it's going to really unbalance the game all that much. Especially with if all things have that.
I don't understand why they didn't do it with Starfinder, because this Pathfinder optional rules for the first edition, where they had this 3 action thing.
Yeah, in Unchained,
came out before Starfinder, so...
Yeah, I don't, you know, I don't know why they elected to go that way, but I mean, I think that like it would be easy enough to convert the stuff over, and if adversaries and allies are all working with the same set of rules, then it's not really going to be unbalancing. It's just it's weird to go back to the... I mean, not weird just because I've been used to the other now. It's strange to shift your mind back to like, okay, no, hold on. I actually was trying to look up, and maybe I'll finish doing that, tax opportunity, because I can't remember if moving triggers a tax opportunity in this or not.
Yes,
it does. Okay, so it would have had an AoE, yeah.
So anything...
One of the things it does, I mean, moving in a threatened area.
Yeah, okay.
Casting, I think, or casting certain casting.
Okay.
But something like shooting into combat isn't.
No. That's neat that like PF2 has that as well. Like if you have an adversary who's in your way, you get lesser cover in PF2, where it gives +1 to AC, but that's the only penalty that applies to firing into melee. Oh, and Ben brought us snacks too.
Sorry.
Oh, that's all right. So we were talking before, because we got started a little late, Ben, do you want to play for another 45, or do you want to play for another hour 45?
I am cool with whatever you guys decide. I am on summer holidays, and I have nothing I have to do tomorrow.
Excellent. Okay, so let's just check with Pete and see what his availability is.
Hello.
Hey, speak of the devil. Pete, we were talking, so do you want to play for another... We started a little late today. Do you want to play for another hour 40, or do you want to play for another 40? Because we were planning on quitting at, like, in the quit time would be in about 40 minutes.
It's fine. It's fine. It's cool. The boy hasn't even gone to bed yet, so she's going to be busy with him.
Awesome. Okay, then that's what we'll do, guys. Just so I can kind of plan the rest of the session.
That's just some shabby parenting there, Pete.
Hey. I've been on my own for the last 2.5 days with him, so it's been a fun weekend. I love him to bits.
Yeah. Okay, so then, guys, so jumping back in.
You bought the train set for him yet?
He's a dinosaur fan. Yes.
Nice.
Oh yes.
All right. So this, where we last left our heroes, this thing was trembling on the ground and appearing to make some motions to try and get up again. What are you guys doing?
We're still in initiative order, are we?
Yep. Oh no, we're in narrative phase here. So whoever wants to jump in,
shoot it again.
Well, you hear over the airwaves.
I want to move up to there.
Unknown language from Cat. And then when he notices that it's moving, he's going to shoot into the body.
Okay. Now, where just to be clear, none of your comms work. None of your comms work either. You guys can hear wherever your voice can carry. That's as far as you can go.
All right. Well, you can hear it over there.
Yeah.
You then also hear the schnick as he closes up the helmet.
Okay.
Before he says that, he says, "Watch out for biohazards," and then
okay.
Up the helmet.
Okay. So you close up the helm. The rest of you guys are shooting into this thing.
Well, he certainly is after he's done that.
I don't
probably
know
step forward 5 feet, just so he's got a.
Okay, and Voldan, what are you doing?
Stepping forward to here.
Yeah, I don't understand. So that thing is it's just like it pieces itself together again.
It is in its broken state. It's trying to push itself back up.
Yeah. Okay. So I will crush a leg or something with my hammer.
Okay. So after like 2 or 3 hits, you finally reduced it down to enough of a broken form that it's not moving at all. So this thing lies ruined before you guys. That any of you getting closer, you're getting that same horrific, rotten odor that Voldan picked up. What are you guys going to do? There's now silence in the corridor here.
Are we going to say spacesuits have external speakers or not?
They probably do, yeah.
Yeah. I'll say to Voldan. So, do these things, are they contagious?
I don't know. I think they spread everywhere. You don't smash them.
I think we should check for more.
Yeah.
So they came from that southern area.
Yeah. Now, why don't let's see here, Auntie, why don't
I've
you
got
give
an
me...
exquisite handkerchief over my face,
Yeah.
just to kind of block any, like just like oh.
Auntie,
So do we know if they are contagious? I mean,
you've never heard. I mean, like,
Yeah,
as
okay.
far as I think your familiarity with them, with using your warrior background there. I mean, you're familiar with them in the sense that they were a militaristic threat. They were something that was so terrifying that it forced 2 adversaries to band together to stand against them.
Yeah.
Ansi, would you give me a mysticism check, please?
Yes.
Oh, and each of you guys get another Nova point too. Whoa. Okay. Now there are many things.
Back in the game.
Yes, there are many things that you are certain of, and you've experienced many things through the course of your travels, from the sands of Akiton all the way to the depths of Absalon Station. This is suffused with necrotic energy, and the passing familiarity you have with the swarm. Because your level of training with life sciences, they're effectively, like, at its most simplest way of understanding it, it's a ravening, like, insectoid type species, but they're living. They're not necrotic.
Yeah, space locusts.
Yeah. This
isn't regular swarm, guys. This thing's dead.
Yes.
An undead swarm?
No, I mean it was dead before it was dead.
You hear more drow swear words.
Yeah, I'm getting an Eox vibe off of this.
So you're saying this was dead before we killed it?
Yeah. Yeah, like proper dead. I mean, look at it. It's mouldy. It's rotten. It smells.
Where's Zakros when you need him?
Yeah. Oh well. So, question is, do we go on and look for more, or do we try and get up these?
I think we have to, don't we? Make sure there's not a whole host of them.
One thing you also know about the swarm is that they operate largely at their most basic at the most basic level of, like, instinct and action. There's no fucking way something like this, like the swarm, would set up speakers and, cameras and things like that.
Well, also this thing's dragging stuff around, so it's dragging it to somewhere or from somewhere. So if it's taking bodies somewhere to feed or do something with, then we need to at least see.
With my knowledge of the swarm, do they, like, cluster in groups of 30 to 50, or do they, hang around near sources of warmth? Are we looking for the or dark, cold places?
So there's a dark. I mean, that, like a lot of hive mind species that you've encountered in the Vescarium or in the course of your travels as well, they have different, like, subspecies within the what do you call it? Within the kind of, like, overall thing of the swarm. The Shirin, for instance, the Shirin were a mutated strain of part of the many organisms that make up the swarm. they do have a cunning to them too. They don't just try and beat with overwhelming force. Some of them are intelligent enough to be able to to have a cunning plan. And like any kind of predator, yeah, they would want to breed and multiply before they go. But that would be the living swarm. Whatever this.
Do they mostly come at night?
Mostly.
Well, Cat's moved slightly back out just to keep an eye on the rear.
Sure.
So sorry, the drag marks were going up north past where Cat is.
That's right. Yeah, further into
But
sort of
we've
this.
seen that there's a load of stuff down to the south through here, and that's where the creature came from.
Yeah, it seems to have come from in this room here that serves. Yeah, so and this thing is all a what do you call it? It's all the like mechanism and whatnot. Or the generators, the local generators rather, the thing that would tap into the kind of overall power. What do you call it? The power source elsewhere in the what do you call it? In the station, the local. I guess like maybe the local transformer. I guess is maybe what we would think of it. And then other utilities as well too. Like air purifier, things like that.
Okay. Cat's going to see if this corridor down here actually connects up to the room. So he's going to move down to there.
Okay.
No. Oh, maybe it does.
Okay, so Cat is making his way off on his...
Now we know there are enemies in the area.
So he's
just
gonna
move in a concerted effort, everybody. How about we have a plan?
Yeah.
Cat?
That is a wise thing, yeah.
Cat, you hear a clank of something over here.
Okay. We've got something over here. I'm coming back. So he effectively quickly moves back.
Okay, so you go racing back over towards where Vuldan and Zedek are studying this form. So Ansi, you're looking around here. Is there anything that you're looking for in particular in here?
I kind of want to search the room.
Oh, I think your mic is up.
Mic is up on my head. I want to search the room.
You're going to search the room?
Yeah, what did you say? Scan? Search?
Oh, seek. Yeah. Yeah,
Seek,
so
that's
looking
the one,
around...
yeah.
So again, this does... do you have any training in engineering?
I do.
Excellent. Give me an engineering roll.
Oh my god.
Nice. Okay.
It's one of my lowest skills.
So there's a couple things that you pick up from in here. For one, this does seem to be like in a lot of those sort of like smaller areas, rather than the way that Absalon Station is set up is not that like there's one singular power source and then everyone taps into it, because different species have different requirements. It's the like space version of the different plugs from traveling from different countries, right? What there is this type of thing where there's a local transformer that will like localize the requirements for whatever this thing is, and that's what this area seems to be. And building on what Kat picked up from before, this seems like this is an antiquated setup. This definitely seems to be something old. But it seems as if, as well, there has been someone more recently who's been kludging together some kind of modifications. And it seems like it's someone who knows what they're doing, that they've repurposed the power, and you would guess that it's actually drawing more heavily on the local kind of power source, like
that's not a swarm thing either, is it?
No, definitely not. If you can give me a culture check as well, let's see if you can. How much you can piece together from this information. It's what the best you can tell is that the technology, that whatever like the methods that were used in here, you'd guess it's from the Pact Worlds. You know, it's from the type of technologies and whatnot that are used in the Pact Worlds. It's probably not the Veskarium, or something from the Vast.
Okay, well with that, I guess everybody else gets to do stuff while I'm poking around in there. So.
Yeah. So Kat's gonna come running back into the room where Vuldan and Zedek were. What were you guys doing, Volda and Zedek, while Kat was kind of checking that out?
As Ansi goes in there, I'm going to say, are there any doors any ways out of there? Is it a dead end?
He can call
No,
back.
there's another door into the corridor.
Yeah, that hooks up with where I was.
What
Okay.
you see here, too, guys, I haven't bothered to set them up as blocking things. These are also tubes that would normally run up. They're elevators that would bring you elsewhere as well, too. And they had the look of the big heavy blast doors on them, had the look of maintenance things, maintenance kind of transports. But in these ones, you can tell that for one of the blast doors is actually kind of in a bit, as if it's been kind of smashed, and the other one is closed. But they lead up to the ceiling, and then no doubt elsewhere into Absalon Station. At least they did at one time. What are you guys doing?
I think we should explore elsewhere. I think we
Yeah.
should go where Cat.
Yes. I think I just moved past him because he seems to get into trouble and I have to fight for him anyway, so...
Ansi, if there's nothing in there, come back this way. We're gonna head in another direction. We need to check this place for swarm.
There's quite a lot of stuff in there. Someone's been in here. Someone's been bodging stuff together. Someone who's not swarm.
Yeah, you guys then suddenly, as you guys are sort of collecting yourself, you hear, seemingly coming from everywhere, echoing through all these corridors, you hear a voice. The voice says, "You don't belong here. Unwelcome strangers." You seem to have broken one of my pets. But there are more to replace it. Flee, cowards. Flee. And it ends with that kind of like sound again.
Sorry, old chap, but I don't think we'll be doing that. Not since we've got him and his big hammer.
I mean, he's calling us out, isn't it? I mean, that's just asking for it. I mean, come on.
Yeah. Can I rack my brains and see if I can heard of any rumors, like from when I was a tunnel rat?
Yeah, sure. Why not? Let's give me a culture.
Was there any sort of and then the sort of the urban rumors,
Yeah, absolutely. Give me a culture check, please.
3 times, and it's sort of because I used to hang out in these somewhat dodgy areas. I just wonder if this is obviously not.
I mean, it's not so much that it's that there are so many of those things. Like, there's Absalon Station itself has a population of close to 3 million. So it's a big enough thing and it's all built on top of each other. The amount of rumors and whatnot about people, don't go to that area, or people going missing. It's too hard to pick. Why don't let's see here. Zedek, Ansi, and Voldan, each of you give me a culture check, please.
Yeah.
I'm curious of one more thing.
Yeah. It could be just instead of offer a prejudice. So I would say, because that is undead, it has to be some kind of corpse fleet stuff, because those are evil and those are the only undead I heard of. So
Okay.
they must be behind it.
That's right. And then for those who may not be familiar with the corpse fleet, Voldan, why don't you fill us in what the corpse fleet is?
So the Eox tried to take over the Absalon Station, and they failed. And a little later, they joined forces because of the attack of the Vescarium, and some of the Eox officers built the corpse fleet because they didn't agree with joining the old the old enemy.
Yeah, And they're completely unaffiliated.
Yes. Okay, so yeah, there's nothing further to really be gained from here, guys. So what are you guys gonna do?
Well, I heard something over there, and I'll point. How do I get the ping thing?
Okay.
Doesn't seem to allow me to do it. So cat will move forward. I heard it sort of somewhere
Oh, ahead of you
down
over
to
there.
the left.
Yeah.
Be careful.
I'm also going to pop a set of lights up just to get some more light here.
Why are you going in front? Oh, well, maybe.
I saw some drag marks going this way.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Was that? Oh, you mean off to the left rather than straight north?
Yeah.
Ansi, you
Oh,
can
right.
see.
Well, let's follow the drag marks then.
You can see off on the right there. There are stairs in the darkness that make their way up. Those lead further up. And what you can also see is that the drag marks seem to, and the markings of the claws on the ground, they seem to make their way along.
Oh, right. Up here. Okay.
Yeah.
Right, so this way.
Okay.
Well, I will stealthily go up the stairs and see what I can see from up
Sure.
there.
So as you get closer up towards there, you thought that the smell of that broken thing, that was bad. But as you're getting up there, it's just that whatever that stench was is getting worse and worse and worse. It's almost to the point where it's overpowering. Imagine, a slaughterhouse mid operation suddenly stopping and sitting there in like July heat for a month. That's the stench that just wafts over you as you make your way up into here. Now, you don't have any doubt that at some point what you're seeing would have been a lovely vacation, spot or a spa for the affluent. This would have been a lovely pool at some time in brighter times. But what you're seeing now is basically an entire basin, stretching 50 feet long, 15 feet wide, full of stinking, rotting viscera.
Mm-hmm.
And moving around in there, you can see there are things moving in there. Something akin to like chitinous maggots, maybe. And what you see, something. Let me see here. You hear over the speakers again, echoing through these things. Yes. If you don't flee, you will be fodder for my pets. They will feed well. Now.
He's not right, is he?
You hear...
Sounds like he needs a cough mint.
Zedek, you hear a brank as something hits the ground, and you hear... from further down in this corridor. Give me a moment here.
That
Bear with me a
fluid
second, I'm
we
just going to
were-
up my lights.
That fluid we were transporting.
I may do the
is
same
flammable
thing.
by any chance?
Yeah, it is. It is combustible. I think so.
It definitely is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. JT has a bit of an idea here, but I think we need to. I think we're about to be a bit ambushed.
Okay. So, why don't we do this? Let me clear things out here. Remove all turns. Yes. Everybody kindly click on their tokens and click on initiative.
So just Ben, your Izuki is not one of the kind that always carries a grenade in his mouth.
Sorry, Gov, they always struck me as a bit stupid. Why would you do
No,
that?
but Yeah, because you always have this handy grenade. You have this mouse.
It's not in his mouth.
pocket. Yeah. You know it. I mean, that's.
Oh no, I know plenty of Isoki that do it. I just always thought they were stupid.
Putting an explosive next to their head.
Yeah, yeah, it's not the brightest, is it?
Mhm.
Okay.
I suppose it could be worse. It could be keeping him in his mouth.
All right. So, guys, what you see. Oh, I'm a dummy. There we go. Let me make sure that... Oh, Zedek, you're not going to benefit from this. Can anyone see the pool?
I can see the pool.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Cat can see it out of the corner of his eye, off to one side.
Then, you see... This is for your benefit again, Pete. 1, 2, 3. And this thing, it's once again one of those hideous, chitinous, oversized creatures bursts out of the viscera and agitating, all the rest of the... Think of like, agitated fish in a lake, like splashing and whatnot, but instead of water, it's bits of disgusting, rotting viscera that's splashing around. And this thing bursts up and... it basically kind of swims or skitters across towards you guys to there, and then it, against Antsy, it hurls. Oh, nat 1 hurls this thing towards you, and Antsy, you are easily able to duck underneath it. It hits the wall, and there's this burning, sizzling smoke as acid is eating away at the wall as it runs down. And then
Yep,
Zedek.
definitely my mother-in-law's cooking.
Zedek, you hear this bump, 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 bump from the end of the corridor, and something slams around the corner, hitting, and it will also try and unload against you. Oh boy, that's a 27 versus your KAC.
Let me just check my character sheet. Yes.
Okay, so you take 7 points of damage of acid.
So am I right? I click on there and I go, just type down to the number.
To your blue token -7 and then hit enter.
-7.
Perfect.
There we go.
Yep. All right. Speaking of Zedek, you are up. What are you doing?
Okay, I am going to. Let me just get back to my character sheet. I am going to move and use the ability Get 'em, which I believe. Should I click on that?
Yeah, please. Nice.
Okay, so I can only see this guy,
Yeah.
but everyone gets a +1
Excellent.
to attack rolls made against that enemy. And can I move through friendly people?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So not knowing what's upstairs, I'm gonna back up to there,
Okay.
yeah, and be like, "Big guy, there's one down there. Go get him!"
All right. Antsy, what are you doing?
I am going to take a shot at this guy.
Okay.
Close the door, Cat says.
Is the door closable? Is it even possible to close the door?
There's no
I'd assumed
power.
It was.
Probably
No.
not actually
No.
thinking about it.
It's
That's
300
good
years
thinking.
old.
And I wish I had thought of that. That would have been like an intelligent thing to do.
We have made very good tactical use of doors in the past.
Yes. And his cat's
And also
like.
when it hasn't worked, but
So go ahead, Antsy. Are you doing a full
Here we
attack?
go. I am doing a full attack.
Okay.
Because why dodge? when
Oh
you can-
no, nat 1.
Outrageous.
Oh boy.
that
So
makes damage as well.
you do have 2 Nova points right now, unless you want me to make use of my critical fumble deck.
I may just use one of those noble points to ignore
No,
that.
do the fumble deck. Do the fumble deck.
If you're using, yeah, go ahead and re-roll. Yeah, nice.
I use the second attack instead.
Well, no,
Or do
you
you
just
want me to
reroll
re-roll the whole thing?
both.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm fine with that. I have more than enough ways to kill you guys, so... Oh,
Oh, well, that was worthwhile, wasn't it?
Pow, 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 pow. Oh, at least it doesn't fumble, though. So you, yeah, the shots go off wild, and it's kind of... You can picture them hitting inside the viscera. Maybe you hear like... as one of those,
That was a warning shot.
All right. Kat, what are you doing?
You're warning us that you're shit at shooting.
Okay, so you said there was something down there. He's going to effectively go to the corner, so that's what, 15 feet.
Okay. There most definitely is.
I can't see it, so I can't trick attack it though. But I will just try and effectively shoot it.
Okay, sounds good.
This is with the get 'em, isn't it? So
Yeah, so you got +1 to hit that thing. You get him.
not a full attack.
Here we go. Ooh, not quite good enough. Even though this thing seems to be as shambly and you know, as suffused with necrotic power as the last, it still seems to be made of fairly sturdy stuff. Ping! One of those shots ricochets off of its chitin. Is that it for you? I think so. Vuldan, what are you doing?
Yeah, come on. Let's move out of here. So I'm moving here, and this is not really a straight line. I mean, it's slightly curved, but I would say I would charge it if I could.
Go right ahead. Yeah, that's fine by me.
Yeah, that's, I mean, that's the way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So I missed this last time, but as a free action, in a way, I have this close combat ability, which increases my armor class when I'm
nice.
doing in a melee fight.
Okay.
So this is probably not a hit.
Against KAC, no.
+1.
Well, +1, 15. Yeah, still, it's very, very close, but not quite good enough. Does a charge give a bonus to hit?
No, it's I think it's
Just a penalty to your whatever?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Okay, so you go racing in, bam, you hammer up against this thing. Maybe your allies weakened the last one, because this one, it's hit solid and does not, is not affected. Alright, now it's its turn. It is going to lash out with its claws now that you're in close enough. Let's see, it's -4, so I think only one of those hits. And its claws rake across you. You take 7 points of damage. And then the one that is attacking you guys, this thing, it leaps out of the water, or the viscera, comes running over. And, oh, Antsy, you're the only one in the view there.
Oh, I can see it now.
Comes in, and it does, let's see here, that is a 15 versus KAC. Does that hit?
It does not.
Nice! Okay, so it the massive claw comes in and screeches.
I do have this Moxie thing.
What does Moxie do?
Moxie, it...
Yusaki, nice. Stand from a swift, addition the not off kilter.
And I got +5 racial bonus to move through its square. So
Oh,
I
nice.
just wasn't sure if that would help me defend against it charging me or not.
No, but I mean that makes sense narratively. Is what happened is you saw this thing and it's just you're too small, so its claws hit the ground and then kind of scratch along it, pulling back deep furrows in the space linoleum or whatever it is. Okay, so Zedek, you're up next. What are you doing?
Wait a minute. So sorry. Vuldan takes 7 points, or who takes 7 points?
Who took 7 points?
Vuldan.
Vuldan did, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. And then Zedek, what are you doing? So it seems there's two of these things.
Am I engaged with this one?
You can be if you like.
It.
Yeah, if you like, you can be. If not, I said the doorway is blocking it.
So I need to step behind Nancy to shoot it.
I think you could probably see it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's sort of, in order to actually get to Ansi, it would have to be sort of reaching through there anyway.
Yep.
Right, so...
Only little.
I was just checking the rules on Get 'em.
Yeah.
It's actually should have been my move action used to do it
Yeah.
rather than.
Well,
so
you could have moved during your standard... Like, what is it? There is a standard action... Where is
Can you
it?
do another move as well?
Yes,
That's right.
please.
Okay. I'm going to step back
Okay.
here and shoot it.
Nice. Okay. Go ahead.
Definitely see it now. Right.
The lightning gun of yours.
Yeah, let's get that out. Attacks. Oh,
That's not good. Okay. Leaves some scorching on its carapace. Maybe part of the wing is blown away, but no appreciable damage, or at least no effect or reaction from it.
I think I was distracted by the pool of gore, which I hadn't seen up until that moment.
Oh yeah, this is only getting worse. Ansi, what are you doing?
I feel too threatened, and I'm not happy about it. So I'm going to mind thrust. I wanted to save it,
Nice.
but it's mind thrust.
Okay, now, does using that in melee trigger attack of opportunity? I don't remember.
Doesn't seem to. And I could use that and move, can't I?
Yeah, so you could have stepped back, like scrambled back, and then lashed out with your mind power. Okay, so then it gets a will save against this. It will be affected by it. I rolled a fucking 7, so that ain't gonna save. Alright, so how much damage does it do?
15.
15! So what does this manifest as? Like, what do we see?
Basically, I blow bits of its mind up.
Nice.
I shove psychics. That bee noise that it was making at me earlier, I amplify it, turn it round, and shove it back into its brain.
Awesome.
Dissonant static.
This thing's twitching and kind of... And you get the feeling that it's... Yeah, no, I mean, I think because of the brief connection you had, too, it's as if, like, the bees dissipated for a moment. And they're beginning to come back again. Okay, JT, what are you doing?
When I walked through that room below, did it actually connect up around there or not?
We're right in the middle of combat. Let's keep things moving.
All right. Well, he's just going to move up then.
Yep.
He's going to move up there. He's going to affect
I do like the idea of JT being like, did that thing kind of connect while everyone else is...
As he moves, he's going to... he's got his portable handheld computer. He's going to effectively trigger a burst of static.
Okay.
To try and do trick shot.
Sure.
And so we'll use computers for that.
Okay, here we go. Your computer likes keeping us in suspense.
Well, it was always fast when we've used this before, right? Well, I think that will be a success.
That's awesome, yeah. So it actually, you're sort of replicating the frequency of insects.
Yeah, maybe I'll try and like jam the bee noise.
Sure.
Because we heard that. I'm trying to sort of do the anti version.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to sort of reach over Zoldan's shoulder and like shoot it straight in the head.
Sure. Here we go. Did it prompt you for full attack?
Yeah, and I said no.
Oh, there we go. Nice.
Yes.
17.
That
and
hits.
That is with the thing, and that is, and then it's. I can never remember how to do this. And an extra 4 points of damage.
Excellent. Okay.
Cool.
All right. So yeah, that it throws its head back, and you see a vulnerable point. You blow away part of its like the thorax structure. Voldan, what are you doing?
Yeah, I think I just use my hammer on it twice.
Plan B. It's the standard Voldan plan.
Plan C.
Oh God! What?
Oh.
What?
Yeah. Okay. So I just use a Nova point. I mean,
Nice.
come on,
Yeah.
There we go.
So I'm doing that again.
Here we go.
Yeah, well, at least once.
Okay, so the first one does not, once again, skips off its carapace, but on the backswing, you catch this thing right in the middle, and bits of its, like the kind of the central torso go blasted off by your hammer. Let me apply the damage here. Man, oh man. All right. Speaking of the bugs. All right, so the first one, well, the one that's engaged with Voldan, let's let it lash out with its claws here. Neither of those hit. Voldan, you're keeping this thing at bay.
Yeah.
And then the other one, who does it hate more? Let's see here. Pete, you're the guest today. Do you want evens or odds?
Odds.
Odds?
Because I'm a bit odd.
Boom, evens. Oh geez, I guess Ben, you're the other guest, so it's gonna go after you.
Yeah, come on, Pete. I'm far more odd than you are.
Oh, that's true, actually. That's true.
It truly wants the taste.
Cool, buddy. I'll take this hit for you.
So this thing is
I'll
gonna
heal
come
you
in.
up with a...
It's fighting off the, and I mean, it makes sense narratively why it would go after you if you sort of disrupted its connection with the swarm, right? So it goes in. Does a 19 hit your AC?
That will do the job.
That will do the job. Okay, so then you take 7 points of stamina damage, and then that is it for the big bugs. Zedek.
Having seen it jump through and scratch him up, and it kind of being my fault, I'm gonna say, watch yourself there. Short one. Come on, Yusoki, you fine people are good in a scrap. Get to it. And I will use an inspiring boost on the Yusoki.
Yeah.
Let me get to the ability. Completely patronizing him.
Which is fits.
On the way.
That is going to be
completely...
canon from now in our campaign from now on too. That the officers in the Veskarium are going to be me doing shitty Michael Caine impressions from Zulu.
Absolutely. Did I mention that my uniform is red?
Exactly.
It's the
Swarm, thousands of them.
Oh man.
fire at will. That's better of him.
Nice.
10 stamina.
Chat says, I'll try and find you some Martini Henrys.
All right, so then Ansi, yeah, you gain 10 stamina back.
Which is more than I had, so I just go back up to maximum.
Sweet. All right, you still have.
I'm gonna move.
Okay, yeah. You have this, old bean.
Yeah. This is tactical. It's so I can see all combatants and assist everybody.
Of course.
And
All
be
right.
equidistant from the two horrible monsters.
So Ansi, I think like in the fiction that claw just didn't get you as bad as you thought. You know, like Zedek had screamed out, "Watch out!" and you rolled to the side and it boom, hit the ground, scratched along. You got this thing looming over you, seemingly caught in the corner. Now let me see here. Would you kind of give me a perception check, please?
I can do that for you.
Thank you. Let's see.
There we go.
Whoa! So in the middle of this fracas, you're going back and forth. You spare a quick glance out across the pool filled with viscera, and you see something drifting across it. That is this.
Now you wish you were one of those Izoki with grenades in the mouth.
Now I wish I was one of those Isoki with grenades in the mouth. He's not wrong.
All right, and Ansi, what are you gonna do?
I am going to deal with the immediate threat first. And I am going to...
That's problem two.
No, that wasn't the thing I wanted. Sorry, the breeder just got in the way. Get out of the way, breeder! Shooting!
Nice!
Yes!
So you're just unloading on this thing, and it's blowing chunks out of it. Oh man, that's pretty good. Boom! It's still largely holding together, though. And it's looming, I mean, it's so much bigger than you as well, that it's just bits of, like, disgusting. It's not even like salivation. It's bits of its gooey innards are dripping down onto you.
I'll
Okay.
wash, but I'll never be clean.
Exactly. JT, what are you doing?
Okay. Move that disturbing image out of the way. Well, effectively, I'm going to do what I did last time.
Okay. Go ahead and make your rolls.
Yeah. How am I going to fake him out? Okay. I'm going to try and bluff the.
That won't. It's not. I don't think that's gonna.
Okay, it's not. In that case, I'll just try and create sparks again.
Hey, look over here!
Well, no. Effectively, I'll try and jam its brain. Effectively, I'll set my computers.
Sure.
to
Yeah.
that. The computers.
Well, building. You were trying to imitate that signal from before,
Yeah.
so I think you heard it a second time, so
Yeah.
that's what you're piping out.
Tweak it a bit.
Yeah.
Did I actually?
Easily. Yeah. Go ahead and make your attack.
So this has to be a single attack because obviously you have to do the trick attack as part of the.
Yeah.
As a move, so effectively that would be the twiddling with the thing. Oh yeah.
Nice.
And, oops.
Come on.
Go. Big money.
Oh,
Nice. Oh, even Emmy's excited. All right, sweetie. It's almost down. Okay, so then we had a viewer who had a theory that anytime Emmy hears Starfinder is when she starts barking. So, all right, so yeah, this thing is nearly down. Like you're once again another careful shot. You've peeled away more of its head, so it's sort of like hanging on loosely on just some what do you call it? Little scraps of insectoid tendons. Voldan, you are up now. What are you doing?
Yes, I try to smash this head off.
Yeah.
Just going for the full attack. I mean, come on.
Yep.
Yes, at least the second
One of those hits and takes it down. What does it look like as you smash this thing?
Yes, so if the head was already a little bit loose, then it comes off.
So it goes flying off and then hits the ground. Outstanding. Okay. Now, next one is...
How are you holding up behind?
All right, so next up is this last one over you. So now it gets 2 attacks on you. Antsy. And, oh, looks like both hit. Oh, so it's just clawing at you. You take 11 from one and 8 from another for 19 damage in total. Oh, it's battering at you. You really did not like getting, what do you call it? Getting its mind jammed.
It
Zedek.
did not. I'm not feeling great about this.
No.
Gotta say.
Zedek, this thing is going seemingly feral on Antsy now. What are you doing?
I am going to... Oh, do I shoot it or do I club it from behind? Do I get a bonus to attack to
Flanking?
flanking or?
Yep.
Okay. Let me just check. See if they're complete. Yes, I'm going to run up, charge.
Yep.
And claws. My more bestial side coming out. I don't normally let it.
Yeah.
But needs must. Ah! Right.
Nice.
Here we go.
Well, obviously, it's the sort of thing you use when the servants send the port round the wrong way.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Not to the right temperature.
Yes.
Whatever the
Yeah, I always imagine
Veskarium...
they're a bit like the Klingons, where if the junior underling does something really stupid, they just pull out a blaster and shoot them.
Whatever the Veskarium equivalent of cricket is, this is not that.
Right, I'm clicking on it. It's not doing anything.
The best cricket.
Okay.
Yeah, so, hang on.
Sure,
I'm
might be
clicking on
prompting
it,
you
but it's
for full attack.
It's not doing anything.
Whoa, holy shit! So that's a huge hit on this thing. you tear a whole chunk of this thing away. And it
Yes.
staggers back. And I think you've got its attention now.
And I've got crap on my uniform.
Yes! And I think this is where then you likewise see the breeder drifting in your direction. Okay, Ansi, you seem to have a reprieve from your newfound Vesk ally. What are you doing?
I will continue dealing with the immediate threat.
Okay.
Excuse me. By attempting to shoot it again.
Here we go. Big money.
Go on, get in there. Blam blam.
Nice! All right. So this, what does it look like as you blow this thing to pieces with your antiquated firearm?
I shove the pistol up inside its torso and just fire 2 shots up into its head until soup runs out of its eyes.
Awesome. So both of those are now gone, guys. Oh boy! And as you're sort of catching your breath as well, that's when you can see this thing continues drifting towards you, and it sort of hovers over the middle of the pool. And in that same kind of raspy voice, and all that happens too is that its skeletal jaw kind of opens, and then the voice comes out. Like it's not moving, you know, like bad animatronic kind of way. It just kind of opens up, and you hear this whispering thing again, and it says, "I know not what brought you here, but nothing can stop my necro swarm," and it gestures towards you. Would you guys each give me a culture check again? I want to see if you can pick something up here.
So I assume that the other 2 of us have moved back up so we can see it.
No, you can hear it.
All right. So
Nat
I'll move on
20.
back then.
Okay, so once again, it's when Vuldan is in combat, is when he is at his most sharp. So you hear that voice, and it clicks on you. You know what it is? Building on your whole corpse fleet thing, the antiquated cadence of this guy's common language, like the particular phrasings and the way he's enunciating things, this is an ancient Eoxian. This is not someone who is like part of the rabble, not like the ghouls or whatever else. This is someone with a very special, place in the Eoxian order, military as well. You would guess. And I'm trying to think if you would know anything else. If you saw him, you might be able to pick up more. But we're in kind of a narrative time right now. We don't need to go in a round for round time, but as he's gesturing forward, that whole disgusting viscera around you, around the pool, is beginning to roil with agitation. Whatever is within there is getting very worked up. Ansi, from where you are, you can see that there are a bunch of tubes and wires and things like that that are leading down into this disgusting goop that fills that swimming pool. So as if
Big bad guy, up here, come
Okay.
and kill me.
So
That's
can we
this.
move up there?
Anybody
now?
got a mouth grenade?
Can I step into the room?
Anyone got a mouth grenade? So what are you guys doing?
Can we
Can I
move
step
up
into
there?
the room?
Not. Because we're no longer.
No, just fall back to the elevator, get the flaming stuff, and just burn the whole thing down.
Flaming stuff?
Yes,
What flaming stuff?
the one we bought with us in the barrel.
Oh.
You tell
well-
me you got bloody Holocaust cloak next.
Well,
And a wheelbarrow.
Was that fluid in separate containers? Because obviously, if it was 2 of them on a sack barrow, we're not going to carry them by hand.
So let's do this.
I would like to step to the doorway and shoot the guy.
Sure.
Oh,
Sorry, old chap, but we're here to rain on your parade.
Go ahead and make an attack roll.
Jason's going to move up so we can see what's happening.
Okay.
okay, so I will have to go as well. As always, no one listens when I'm talking.
I think that, like, based on how much the crew listens to him, he's got a very skewed understanding of what a captain's role is.
None of you have got stripes or a rank higher than mine, so what?
Well, we'd be merchant navies at minimum, so you probably just don't think.
Yeah, I don't, and I absolutely miss.
Oh no!
He's to be fair, he's kind of in the grey. I can barely see him, so
Yeah.
that fits. I'm trying not to vomit at the sight of the room.
When I move up, when Kat looks at it, does it look like this is an actual thing, or is it some sort of video projection?
So it sounds like you're seeking there. Let's do this, guys. Like, everyone click on your token just to get it into the what do you call it? Turns here. Click on your token and then click on initiative, and we'll see how fast this thing is going.
That's not my finest moment.
Ooh, all right.
Yeah.
I am. Okay, actually, and that doesn't roll terribly well. All right. It's descending. All right, so Kat, you're actually up first, so why don't you give me a perception check, please? Let's see what you can tell about this thing. Boom. It's tough to tell. It's such an unusual looking being, and the Eoxians are so elaborate in their display that, like, whether this is the glow of some kind of arcane power or whether it's the glow of some, projection, it's really tough to tell. That'll be your move. So you still have a standard action if you want.
I'm going to try and shoot it in the head.
Okay.
I'll lean to the side for you.
All right. Here we go. Here we go. And whoa, nice. That is a hit. It does not. It passes through mostly its robe, though, so it doesn't hit with a huge amount of effect. Now, let me set this up here. Oh, that is not the number I want. That is the number I want. Oh. Boom. Okay. And, oh, let me set it so you guys can see the darn thing as well, too. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Boom. There we go. All right. So, then this, that does hit, but does not, it does not do much to it. Okay. Zedek, you're up next here. What are you doing?
Okay, I'm going to step into the room.
Okay.
Just so I can see more clearly what's going on.
Okay.
And then I'm going to immediately move to the left, to the corner.
You don't want to go close to the necro goo-filled pool?
No, I'm going to go so I'm just like there.
Yeah, so you can get cover? Sure.
So I can get cover and I can see him, and I'm going to take another shot.
Go ahead, yeah. So you go racing over, you aim your pistol. I'll put him on an actual square here. Oh! That hits the pool, and you can see that some of those things are
wish I hadn't used my nose.
Thrashing around. That seems to have actually bolstered them. There's little bits of these things that are like starting to make their way out of the pool. Okay, his turn now, or its turn. The breeder. So the breeder will turn towards. Let's see here. I think you actually, Zedek, and it begins sweeps its arm wide, and as it sweeps its arms out, there's this mist that kind of forms, and then each first one, then two, then a third single mode of light. And he gestures towards you, and they streak towards you. And you take... hang on here. I think it's 3d4 damage. Let's see here. Magic missile. Magic missile.
The classic.
1d4. Yeah, we're they're like you would expect from an ancient Eoxian sorcerer. He's playing the hits. All right, so that is 8, 10, 13 points of damage as it slams into you. And that will be it for him. And the goo now is spreading out 5 feet from the pool. Ansi, your turn. What are you doing?
Mind thrust.
Nice.
Yes.
Whoa! Oh, but the damage.
The damage.
Damage is garbage. Oh my goodness. Okay, so let's see here. Let's get a save. I actually turfed it save. Yes.
Seriously, that's like
Would that be a
2d10.
crit?
What's that?
Wouldn't that be a crit?
Which would be a crit?
Well, you rolled a natural 20.
He rolled a natural 20 on spell penetration.
Oh, so spell pen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah.
Okay, so it does half damage. So this thing, I think what it is like in the fiction, this thing's mind is so ancient and alien, and so like this thing has been inhuman for such a long time that the weight of centuries has transformed its thought processes to being completely alien. So you sort of like you bounce off of it like. I'm trying to think, like, instead of like a thick, like pulsing, bit of living mind, it's like going across frozen marble. So it's just like, knowing that now, maybe you'll have a better opportunity on your next action. Vuldan, what are you doing? You can hear all the screaming from up in the pool.
Yeah, I think I have to move up just to look at what you're doing all over there. But I hear them shooting, so
yeah.
I would love to pull out my laser rifle, but I don't have the time probably. So I move here.
Okay. So you go racing over. Yeah. You see that now drifting above the viscera-filled pool.
That's not so good.
Now it's a free action to drop something. So if what you want to do is get your gun out, you could have come running around the corner. Dropped your hammer.
Yes, I dropped the hammer.
And then as part of your move action, like we're kind of working the rules here, but I don't really fucking care. You technically can draw a weapon as part of your move action because your base attack bonus. So we'll say that that's part of that if you want to make one attack.
Yes. Okay. So I would just move here and then have only one shot at it.
Yeah.
That's better be a good shot.
Here we go. Come on, good shot.
Yeah.
Whoa! That is a good one. All right. What am I doing here? There we go. There we go. Okay, so you shoot it. It scorches part of its robe. Cat, you begin to think that this is actually something corporeal now. Now, this thing reacts... next up is Cat. What are you doing?
Hearing Vuldan saying earlier about the flammable liquid, how long do I think you would take to get to the elevator and back with a...
you know how long it took you to get here. You could double move each round as a full action.
Yeah, it's quite a long time. When we were in the tech lab, were there any supplies that were flammable?
Not that you could tell. You could seek. You could go back there and seek to try and find something, but...
No. In that case, I think Cat is going to move in to the room for more tactical...
I remember the viscera and those disgusting insects and stuff have now crawled out 5 feet from the pool.
Right, so that's a table then is next to me.
Yes, it is.
Well, in that case, he's going to move to the corner.
Yep.
He's going to use the effectively try and jam the frequency again against the that guy. See if that works.
That's not gonna... Well, here, let's give it a try. Let's see.
Well, effectively, he's effectively trying to...
Yeah, like your character won't know until he tries to do it anyway.
Yeah, let's see. So that was computers, wasn't it, we were using?
Yeah. Go. Boom. Boom. All right. That should have worked. It did not on him.
Okay, oh, well,
Okay.
that's interesting to know. All right, well, in that case, he's just going to shoot.
Yeah. And then, Zedek, you'll be up next.
Just see if he hits him.
Okay, here we go. Is it prompting you for full attack or no?
No, I've done
No, it
that.
didn't? Okay, no. Oh! Goes wide. Okay. So then, Zedek, what are you doing?
All right, chaps, concentrate fire on the floating bastard.
Nice.
I'm gonna use my move action to get him.
Okay.
So everyone gets +1.
Excellent.
And then I will shoot him as my standard action.
Okay.
Well, actually, what's the range?
Let's see.
Range anyway.
Unfortunately,
Too
goes...
busy shouting orders.
Yeah, yeah. All right, so then the breeder goes. Okay, so he is going to, once again, you know, and unleash this stuff. This time, actually on you again, I think. You seem to be the commander here, so he wants to...
Clearly.
Yeah. All right. So that is another... actually, this is only 11 points of damage as they all slam home.
Okay, so that gets rid of my stamina.
And then he is going
And then
to...
it goes onto my health, right? Ugh.
Let's see here. He is now also going to spend one of his resolve points. And he sees the second big Vesk come running in. He looks at you, and those green eyes flare. And his jaw opens up, and you hear this voice come out, and deep in your mind, flee. And Voldan, I need you to make a will save for me, please.
Oh, yeah, that's one of my strong...
Does the get him effect will save?
Oh!
Yeah, but I think I have a Nova point.
You have a
I
Nova
think
point.
this
You want to get the
Yeah.
auto success on that?
Yes.
Okay, so you can feel for a split second your nerve fails you, and you can feel this cold pit of fear knot up in your stomach. And what is it that Voldan does to force himself past that?
I think I just remember the pain that the other guy just did to me, and I'm wounded, and I will not flee. I mean...
Nice! Okay. Antsy, you're up next. What are you doing?
Did you say that there was stuff going into the pool?
Yeah, there's like cables and whatever else. Judging from what you saw before, you're guessing that they've wired whatever was in there. The generators have been wired to come through and then power this pool.
Is there a central point where the wires run from?
Give me a perception check, please. Let's see if you can spot it. Yes, there is. So it seems to be cobbled through right around here. All of these things were once like change stations, little places where the rich and whatever could go and, you know, get change into their bathing gear. But now it looks like one of the doors is cricked open, where the main kind of power cable comes out, and it splits out into all the other feeder cables that lead down into the pool.
Okay, I want to try and shoot that.
Nice. Yep.
So...
Go.
Oh,
Nice.
Yeah.
So the first one hits well enough. It's sparking, and one of the hoses as well. It's sort of like they're all bundled together with sort of like, you know, metal cable binders or something like that, or I guess like plasteel binders in Starfinder. It breaks apart, and first the power is cut to the pool, and secondly, there's this disgusting greenish liquid with a really oily kind of sheen to it. It's spraying across the pool. The breeder kind of, his head jerks to the side, looks down, and looks back at you. No! No! Voldan, what are you doing?
Yeah, I mean, I think that is the right target to hit also.
Okay.
My thing is a laser. It could practically. So I will target that cable thing as well.
Okay.
Could I do a full attack on it?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, and then.
Here we go.
Oh, yeah.
Nice!
Hey.
So it hit, and with fire, it hits, and that oily stuff that's spewing out of it becomes this gout of flames that's cast across, and the breeder is consumed in it. Go ahead and give me a 2d6 roll.
2d6.
Okay, well, here we are. So he is now basically atop a flaming pool that is slowly spreading out as the liquid goes, and you hear his voice go from that whispery now, as it screeches. And as that catches, it also catches the rest of the cable, which it kind of sparks again, and then you see pew, 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 the lights come back on. Now, these are clearly just emergency lights on this level, because the actual lighting in here would have burned out long, long ago. But it tells you just how long it's been since this whole deck has been actually powered. So, boom. Let me see here, guys. There you are. Okay, and you might need to hit refresh or reconnect to get it to display for you, but you should be able to see everywhere now. And the breeder is consumed in flame. Whoa, Cat, what are you doing?
So the cabling is completely severed now.
The cabling has been, yeah, I mean, you really can't really see where the cabling is because it's full of fire now. This whole room, in addition to the emergency lighting, it's illuminated by this, like, 50 by 15, basically, like, oil pan now.
So is all the oil on fire?
Yes.
All right, so I don't need to try and set it on fire anymore. Well, in that case,
can I more set it on fire? No.
he's going to move over to there. But are any of the nasty stuff outside the pool there?
Yeah, that's 5 feet away, and it's well, I mean, it's not. The thing is,
I'll move to there. To sort of give myself clearance from the goo.
Okay. Now he's going to have some concealment now just because of the flames coming up around him, so it'll be a little harder to hit.
Yeah, but I've got guessing, haven't I?
You have?
On that one. So, no, I'm not really sure I could attack him at this point.
Nope. What are you going to do? Are you attacking?
Yeah.
Okay. And oh, not quite good enough.
So concealment is not the same that you have. I don't know, 30% chance of miss. So it's not the second roll thing, which you normally have with concealment.
That attack wouldn't hit one way or the other.
Okay, so yeah.
Yeah, if it had hit, I'd have had to roll the concealment chance.
Yeah. I mean, typically what I do is I make you roll the concealment beforehand because, like, I prefer the idea of, like, oh, I don't get a chance to attack, rather than, like, well, you hit. Oh no, you didn't. That just has a better psychological effect. So, Zedek, what are you doing?
I think it's time to smoke this mother. Just a full out attack.
Okay.
Does that mean I get to do multiple?
2 attacks then.
Okay. So
It'll do 2. If you click it on yes to
we'll
full, it'll do 2 attacks for you. Go.
Come on.
And I'm actually only... Ooh, okay, so a second one hits. So then, let's see here. It is... Wow, 7 points of electricity damage. Nice.
Yes.
Okay. There we go.
Oh.
In spite of the cover granted by the
blimey.
flames. All right, so then it is the breeder's turn. His robes beginning to be lit aflame by the inferno beneath him. He is forced going to get the F out of there. And then looking back, his eyes now blazing with fire. Like fire, green fire is actually coming out of the skull at this point. And he casts his arms a lot, like kind of sideways. And this... Oh, 1 second here.
Fireball.
Yes, it's the equivalent of Fireball. Which I can't remember what it's called.
I was joking.
Yeah, no, it's...
Shit.
He ain't effing around any longer. You killed
dead.
his pets. So let's see here. That is actually called... no, not Psychokinetic.
That's where I try and move my tokens slightly
Explosive
to the left.
Blast. Oof.
Yeah.
So, can I please have, let's see here, everyone other than Voldan, so Zedek, Kat, and Ansi, each of you give me a reflex save, please.
I hope.
Uh, 16.
Nice.
15.
So, that means that, let's see here, Zedek only takes 9 points of damage. The other two take 18. As this green, this explosive blast of vibrant, burning green flame consumes you guys. Ansi, what are you doing?
Being in pain. Being in lots and lots of pain.
Yeah.
And I am going to... Where's my spells? I've lost my spells. There they are. Going to deal with some of that pain.
Okay. Oh my god, Ansi, you're really messed up.
Yes, yes, I am. Only not as messed up as I was a minute ago.
So 8 plus your wisdom modifier. So that'd be 11 actually points you restore.
Sweet.
Nice. Okay, and what does it look like as what does your psychokinetic power manifest as for healing?
In that one, that's just sort of curling up in a ball, and all the injuries slowly start to sort of just like rock backwards and forwards a little bit,
Nice.
while the injuries re-knit themselves.
Okay. Voldan, what are you doing? You could still have a move to Ansi if you want to move yourself. Voldan, what are you doing?
Sorry,
Yeah.
yeah, I will move to there. It's
Okay.
not far, but
Okay.
that way, if he fireballs them at that lot again, I might be more out of range.
Sure. Now, this room is starting to fill with thick, black, acrid smoke as well. Voldan, what are you doing here?
Yeah, I think I will just shoot at him. I mean, come on, that's not...
Okay.
No rocket science involved here.
All right.
So...
Unless you have some rockets, in which case you could shoot him with those.
Yeah, I'm
Silence
always,
him with your rockets.
Yeah. I don't know.
Okay. Neither of those are gonna hit.
A +1.
Oh, +1. The azimuth rifle, I think, does hit once then. Yes.
Oh, well.
Okay, so, wow, on 10 points of damage, too. That's a good one.
I was useful.
Boy, the weapon specialization really starts making a difference, eh? At level 3? Yeah.
Yeah, so, and wait for my claws. I mean, so this is...
All right.
1.5.
So, Mo had to go do something, so he'll be back in a moment. Why don't we take Zedek's turn, and then we'll go back to JT?
Okay. I'm contemplating a suicide run towards him to save the troops. But I'm probably gonna run away. No, I'm going to.
I was going to do a suicide run, but then I got confused, so I ran away.
So I can move 6 squares. That's right. Isn't
That's
it?
right, yeah.
I'm wondering what the
Kat, you'll be up
diameter
next.
is. The explosion that engulfed us. How wide did that explosion?
It was had about a 20-foot diameter, or 20-foot radius, 40-foot diameter.
Okay. Okay. In which case, I'm
So
going to
you
go.
could charge him. I
One,
mean, you're a West.
2, 3. I could charge him, couldn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's charge him.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay, so racing across, leaping over the flaming
You
goo.
shall have fought out the baser side of me, and you shall face my wrath. Ah!
Go ahead and make an attack roll. Your claws.
Okay. And that's that.
Nice. 7 points. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so you
Still
tear
not-
part of his
I'm about to
flaming
die.
robe away, and it turns out that there are, like, while his head looks to be mostly skeletal, the rest of his body is fairly like a mummified kind of preserved thing, and you tear bits and pieces of that away, including like 1 or 2 ribs. Ah! He goes back and he says, "Beast." Then it's I'll scroll up. Cat, your turn. What do you want to do?
right. So this 5-foot area next to the pool is covered with stuff. Okay.
It does seem to be writhing in pain, but it does seem like it's full of like bitey. Imagine a cross between like a scarab beetle and a maggot. That's what you've got there.
Can I quickly look around? Is there any electrical conduits I could effectively rip out and then dump into? Oh no, we don't want to do that. That's what feeding them was. Well, if they're powered by electricity, can I find a way of grounding them?
Not, I mean, not with a skill check.
Okay, in that case, fine. I'm just going to move over to there, and effectively, when Zedek moves slightly, I'm going to try and shoot the guy behind him.
Sure.
Well, you went before Zedek moved, so.
Yeah, so technically you would have been there before.
All right. In that case, so that's not obscured. I've moved, so that's not full action. Oh, actually, he'll be back here. Actually,
With +1.
15.
Yeah.
+1 is not quite good enough. Yeah, it's a 16 is what you needed. All right, so that's not quite good enough to hit it. It's no doubt like the burn, the smoke that's filling the air and everything. Oh, I gotta go with the bad guy first. Here we go. I'm skipping along to Ansi. All right, now bad guy. Oh boy. So
Bring it on.
He looks down at you, Zedek, his eyes blazing, and
Spit in the left one.
again the mouth opens and you hear this sound in your mind. You belong with my children. And I need a will save for you, or you're gonna throw yourself into that pool.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Nice.
Ah!
So what is the well of reserve that Zedek draws on to prevent himself from following that mystical command?
You
It's
don't
like a
have
nah,
nearly
mate.
nice enough uniforms. Now straighten up.
All right. Ansi, you're up next.
I am going to try and shoot him. Can I shoot him?
Absolutely.
I will do that then. It's not terribly sophisticated. No, you know what? I'm going to mind thrust him. I've got one last spell left,
Nice. Here it comes.
and he can have it.
That felt like more of a thing. Let's see if you can find purchase on his ancient and undead mind. I rolled a fucking 2.
Yes!
So his head snaps back,
Dome.
and you can hear from across time, having tapped in there, you actually hear his living voice. Having been, the memory of it was lodged somewhere deep back in his, in the vault of the weight of centuries of memories. And you hear this living voice scream as it pulls back and away from you. Vuldan, what would you like to do?
And I'm also very sophisticated. I'm using my laser rifle again.
Well, that's going to be plan B. Plan A is apply hammer. Plan B is apply rifle.
Yes, I mean that works. I mean, what is this? No.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it doesn't work.
Oh. So you're blazing away. It just, yeah, this thing's, it's moving around all the time. Cat, what are you doing?
I think Cat is going to try and come up and do the coup de grace. He's going to move up behind Zedek.
Okay.
Effectively lean round to one side and try and shoot
Nice.
the Bone Sage or whatever it is in the head.
Okay.
Come on.
Oh, yes.
Oh, man. All right. Okay. Now, Zedek, what are you doing?
Ah. I'm gonna. I don't know why I'm doing it, but I'm licking one of my claws, and then I'm going for it.
Nice.
Full on claw attack.
Here we go. Especially once you get some levels, the vest claws really start doing some serious damage.
Second
Yes.
one. Second one hit.
Vest claws, yes, it did. So, wow, you grab this thing's face and yank down, and part of the back of its head is peeled away, and you yank on, and now there's an opening on the side of its head where this, like, the baleful green fire from inside is going out. And you can actually see that there's a shape of like the brain in that formed of fire within it. Okay. And at this point, it's now once again screaming. I'm going to spare you and the viewers at home the screech again, but it's still screeching that high-pitched thing. And what it does is, as a last-ditch effort, it throws its body to the side. And you can see that, like, it sort of, the corporeal form drops away as the skull plunges into the flames that make up the pool.
Attack of opportunity?
Sure, yeah, why not?
You gotta try, haven't you?
Yeah, absolutely. Squeaky wheel.
I'm guessing that's just a one.
Yeah.
Oh, so you just barely miss it as it goes
With
by.
the +1 also.
+1 from...
Get him.
Does get him? I think it's to the end of the round, isn't it? It's not to the end of the encounter.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's for the encounter, I suppose.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's 3 minutes or something.
Oh, okay, yeah. So then, no, you do tag it. So you pull the last bit of it away. So it is only its, like, undead, evil spirit that plunges down into this thing. And what you see, you know...
No, you were right. It's only one round. Sorry.
Oh, it's only one round. Okay. Yeah, because I thought like, that was sort of the balancing thing, is that you'd use your move to buff everyone else. So it just, you know, you're sort of clawing at this thing, and you see it pulling away, and you're like, ah! And I think you get a bit of its robe in your hand as it plunges in. And then what you see is, as it gets into that burning flame, you all sort of, you know, anticlimactically stand around looking at this. And then you see in the middle of those flames, it turns green and starts spreading out across the pool. And you can hear... Before, you heard that voice echoing through those speakers, right? And here now, it's coming from that entire pool. And it's beginning to sort of like undulate and twist. What are you guys doing?
Let's go and find the barrel.
Well, is the skull still intact?
Is which?
The skull.
You can't see it anymore. It disappeared into the flames. What are you guys doing?
Holding its rags. I think this is beyond us. This is as much as I can manage.
Okay, I'm going to quickly check my comm unit. Have we got now the power's back? Have we got comms?
there's still interference with the comms.
I'd be tempted to go for the elevators and call the stewards when we get to somewhere a bit more habitable.
What do you guys think?
Well, I'm definitely going to move away from the burning pool, just in case.
Okay. So you start moving
Good
away.
idea. Step back.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna like maybe shoot a few times into the pool.
Sure. Yeah, you guys
as
can
I
be
go
firing
past.
into the pool.
Yeah.
And what you see is this, it's all roiling around, and then what sort of raises itself up from the pool very slowly is a crude approximation of a face made of that viscera and bone, and there's like an arm in there, and we see now that orc from the beginning of the episode, its head is partially a part of the viscera that's in there, slightly rotted away, crying out, and there are bugs running all through this thing. And it seems to be... Now, Ansi, would you kindly give me a mysticism check?
I will do that thing.
Well, while you're doing that,
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I'll talk to the orc thing in Drow.
Well, it's only part of the body. Like, it's not like you can talk to it.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Part of
Sorry,
a
it's just a bit of
corpse.
flavor, not that it's something you can necessarily interact with. So, Ansi, what you know is that if this thing, knowing the bits that you know about Eoxian magic and seeing what this thing had on display, this is like a last gasp. This is something that is going to be, if he's burning out his spirit to try and tap into this stuff, it's not going to last.
Okay, we got to keep going. If we keep
Yeah,
going, we
okay.
can kill it.
Okay.
And it's my go, so I'm going to shoot it.
Okay, go ahead.
He's got Vesk fighting spirit in him.
Nice.
Kapow.
Nice. So you're blazing away in it. Voldan, you're up next.
Yeah, I do the same. I'm told to shoot. I mean, that's
Okay.
perfectly understandable command.
Nice. So your shot takes away part of it. I think that orc's head is vaporized by your laser blast. Cat, what are you doing?
I'm going to shoot twice, I think.
Here we go.
And then I think I need to reload.
Here we go.
So this was get him, isn't it? Well, I know, get
Nice.
him.
The first one hits. And then next up is Zedek.
I'm gonna stand there on top of the table, and I'm gonna fire rapidly into the.
Nice.
I'm also going to step to one side to give Voldan a better shot, actually.
Okay. Oh. Not great.
I missed the 50-foot
Wobbly
pool.
table.
Yeah. Whoa.
I mean, you're hitting in there, just not hitting anything meaningful.
No, I'm pruning the shrubs along the side.
Yeah.
They just need...
This is going to be a
Come on.
lovely resort once we open it up again.
Guns, don't fail me now.
Nice.
Yes.
Okay, so I think you've got because of your sort of the bleed of your psychic power, having been tapped into this thing before, you sort of sense where the last bit of this thing's mind is, and what does it look like? What do we see as you finally disrupt it, and then the rest of it collapses back down into the pool?
That last bullet, as it comes barreling out of the gun, connects to my psychic energies and punches through the torso of the orc's chest, ripping out a lump of green fire and spraying it all over the toilet
Nice.
wall.
And what you see is like a very loose outline of this thing's spirit kind of scream and then disappear. And you hear first the sound of the sloshing as all that mush goes back down into the pool. And then the flames have all turned back to the same orange now and are just burning. And at that, you guys are standing there. So let's cut to the after effect. What you guys will discover over the course of this is, for one,
Cat's going to say a prayer in Drow for the orc.
Oh, nice. Okay. So, and I think you might have known that orc as well too, because he was the foreman of the place where you bought this fuel.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So he's been gone for a little while. So what you guys, first off, you discovered that the power is back. It's emergency lighting everywhere, but most importantly, the elevator functions again. You find that over the course of looking at this level, it's something that has been abandoned for 200 years. It was at one point a kind of like luxury spa, but it's clearly been repurposed by this being, the breeder, to basically, breed a necromantic equivalent of the swarm. And the fact that he was trying to do so in the bowels of Absalon Station, if you were able to tie him to the corpse fleet or to Eox, like, this is a war crime. This is a weapon of catastrophic necromantic destruction. Let loose on, like, the swarm itself, let loose on the on Absalon Station would have been horrifying, but then to have the fallen raise again as zombies or undead is even more unthinkable. And who knows how long this thing has been down here. What you can see is that the elevator has been, JT, you picked this up, the elevator's been jury-rigged so that it can be basically sent down here. So that it will arrive at, basically deliver, things here.
Fresh meat.
Exactly. But what you can tell, Kat, is that your delivery here was an error. He was focusing on something else at the time when you built this. You weren't brought down here as fodder. Something went wrong to bring you here. And you'll have to explore further to figure out what that actually was, or whether it was just a fluke that brought you here. But apart from that, do you do as you suggested, Kat? Do you get yourselves back to your ship and call the marshals, or the wardens, or do you leave this place secret?
A drink.
Yes.
Yeah, I think we go and find a bar.
Brandy, man, brandy. Come on.
All right, I hand over my hip flask of brandy.
Okay.
Yeah, I assume he'd have something with him.
So when we
yeah,
cut...
I mean, he'd be tempted to tip off some of his friends, but
sure. Well, I guess the thing to think of, like, what one of your friends would you want to have that technology in the hands of?
What, the stuff we found?
Yeah.
Well, I trust my mentor, who was the Noir.
Right. You trust him with this?
Yeah, he doesn't like undead. I've had run-ins with undead before.
Okay. What about Ansi or Zedek? Like, what do you think? What are you guys thinking?
I'm taking this as a way of parleying for a little bit of a head start on the station, letting the authorities know, maybe take a head
Okay.
from one of the swarm creatures so that they take me seriously.
Okay.
Tell them what was going on.
And Zedek, what do you think?
Well, there's already enough trophies adorning the wall of my quarters, so I won't take one here. This place is disgusting. Although I am remarking on the nice resort.
Yeah.
Thinking that maybe I need to go and have a dip in a pool somewhere. I will invite them all up to the officers' lounge for a drink.
And what do you think of the knowing that there's this connection?
I'm going to report
here?
it to my my captain.
Yeah, because I mean, both the combination of the swarm and the corpse fleet. I mean, that I imagine is a point of concern, right? For that. So that's what we'll
flagpole.
Sure. So that's where we will leave things, guys. Is with you guys, sort of. Each of you has spread off information to to the wardens, to your Noir boss, to the Vescarium, the higher ups in the Vescarium, and we leave you with at the sort of officers' lounge in the Vescarium Navy, and it's full of all these members of the Vescarium fleet, and then there's the three kind of misanthropes who are there, the cybernetic, enhanced
I will go back and change into something a bit more than.
Yeah, because we're all still covered in like
They give you
filthy
jackets.
gore and
They give you
shredded clothes.
jackets. Don't worry. when
Yeah,
you
this will be
arrive,
like a
so-
week later or so when you guys have gone on. So, and Vuldan, what do you think of having met finally some members of the Veskarium?
Yeah, I mean, at first I was very disappointed, but then when he did the charge attack, I was reconciled with my view of the Veskarium. That is like a true warrior.
Yeah.
And I think I convinced NC as well that carrying grenades in the mouth is the way to go.
Excellent.
He's probably right, actually. I imagine I would probably start carrying a grenade. Maybe not in the mouth.
Awesome.
I think an under-barrel grenade launcher is better.
Perfect. Okay, so with you guys lounging in the, with the standing at the door, looking out. Oh, that's the wrong thing. Looking out at the, ships that are moving around outside of Absalon Station. I believe that is where we are going to be the closing shot for our session. And we will call it a day. So, first off, for Pete and Ben, thank you so much for joining us for this today. I really appreciate you guys hopping in and filling in for being down 2 players. So, thank you so much to you guys for joining us.
Thanks for having us. I've not actually had a chance to play Starfinder. I've always been the guy who ended up running it. So
Oh, nice!
Change of pace for me.
Yeah.
Ben ran it on Garblag Games. We did a 2-shot.
Yeah, he was saying before we went live about that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
We did it at the St Albans Comic Con as well.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
cool.
Some kids, their first role playing experience was Ben Starfinder. So
Nice.
yeah.
Oh, man. All right, so first off, for those listening at home, thank you so much for joining us for this special one-shot for Starfinder, which I still did not have a name for at the time of recording. I imagine I'll put a name on it afterwards. As always, if you have any comments, questions, or concerns regarding the session or the game, please don't hesitate to leave a comment in the comment section below, and I will endeavor to reply in a timely fashion. Alternatively, you can reach me by Twitter at Dungeon Musings. Or you can shoot me an email. My email address is dungeonmusings@gmail.com. In addition, if you enjoy the melodious sound of my voice, you can find me on the Dungeon Musings podcast, available on Anchor and Stitcher and Apple Podcasts, everywhere you find your favorite podcast platforms. And in addition, speaking of the melodious sound of the voice, if you enjoy the melodious sound of Pete and Ben's voice, you can find them on the Garblag Games YouTube channel as well, where they run a variety of different games, including Star Trek Adventures, which is wrapping up, I think, with a dramatic conclusion.
Just wrapped up.
Zweihander, I'm trying to think, Planescape, what other cool stuff?
We're just about to start 3rd season of our Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay 4th edition show, Flint and Steel.
Nice.
Which is kind of the flagship show of the channel.
Yeah.
And we're about to start up Edge of the Empire, Star Wars, Fractured Empire.
Right. Yeah, I saw the tweet about that. Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
So again,
we're doing
that's
a couple of giveaways as well, so people should go and check it out.
Yeah, and Pete also has a really great, the Garblag Patreon as well too, has some really cool art stuff as well, and great maps that are continually available and updated, so you can definitely check out that as well, and I will amend the description to have a link to that. Speaking of the notes of the video as well too, if you look at the description of the video, there is a link to something called Heroes Save Villages. That is the charity initiative we run on the channel. We don't monetize the channel in any other way. I don't run a Patreon. I don't run ads. If you are inclined to toss some credits the way of the channel, I'd ask that you click through that link and learn a little more about the Heroes Save Villages initiative. Any donations that are made through that go directly to the SOS Children's Villages International Charity. It's a really terrific charity that provides advocacy and benefits for over 80,000 orphan and abandoned children living in over 130 different countries. It's a really, really great organization. And you can learn more about that by clicking through. Any donations go strictly to them. None of it goes to the channel. None of it goes to a middleman. It goes directly to the organization, to helping those kids out who otherwise would not have a childhood. So, and last but not least, I want to thank all of my players. So, of course, Ingolf, and Mo, thank you so much for joining me again today. And again, Ben and Pete, thanks for jumping in and letting me torture you with Undead, which is usually the way I welcome new players.
Great fun.
All right. So then, again, for those listening at home, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for joining us, for those who joined us live as well. And until next time, happy gaming. Oh, I gotta get up to the OBS. Here we go. Oh, I had one question. Yeah, I will be recording a video very, very soon to set the actual schedule for the new subscribers. We have got quite a few new subscribers in the last little while, and we have stabilized what our stable of games are now too. So anyway, until next time, folks, thanks again, and happy gaming.